Burnley and Wolves, probably we can expect them to go down, but West Ham with Leeds, with Nottingham Forest, potentially with Tottenham or even Brighton could be a bit of a scrap.
There's always one, isn't there? There's always one that finds himself in some really serious trouble, and there's always one from the bottom three who have some sort of fight for it, and that's West Ham. You know, West Ham now they've come to the party. You know, I look at some of the boys there, Crescencio, Somerville.
He's been incredible, hasn't he? Scores every week.
Record, brilliant. It looks like a real threat in them wide areas, and of course they've gone into the market. They brought another centre half in. You know, Max Kilman had a really tough time. He's getting a lot of stick there, but Disasi's coming from Chelsea. Let's see how they get on with this new team.
Okay.
Be a tough night tonight.
Right, it is a big night, and let's hear from the managers involved in our big game this evening, Liam Rosenior and Daniel Farker.
It's always nice when players speak well of you. Most of the time they just want to stay in the team, so I take it with a smile. No, like I think you can see whether it's Cole or Zhao or Enzo or Moy, all of them, Andre, the defenders, they're playing with a real enthusiasm at the moment. They're enjoying their football. And as a coach, that's very pleasing to see, because if you don't play with enthusiasm, you don't play with energy or intensity. So at the moment, things are looking good. We have to continue. The demands have gone up. It's going to be a physical game tomorrow, but the signs are looking really, really good for what we want to achieve together.
It's not like if we would achieve 38 points, we want to stop winning points. We want to win as many points as possible anyway, and for that, so I'm not too addicted and concentrated on doing too much math. I'm more concentrated on playing good football games.
Yeah, I think any world-class player is important to what you want to achieve. So for me, it's been great to see him enjoying his football on Saturday. It's been great to see him banging in the goals, and hopefully his form continues in that way.
Well, there you are. That's the thoughts of the two managers. I mean, you know, if you're looking at this one dispassionately, Sean, I know you're an ex-Leeds man, but really, you'd have to say Chelsea massive favourites. Not only is Leeds' away record pretty appalling this season, they've lost on their last 7 visits to Stamford Bridge. The last time that they won here was something like 2 weeks before the start of this century, so 1999.
Yeah.
So it's they you know, and they've named a defensive team. The problem they'll have is if they suddenly concede an early goal.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, we've spoke about the lineups. We spoke about the defensive team. Yeah. They need to make it a real tough game, a tough night.
Yeah, they do.
The old-fashioned Leeds and
the old
Chelsea.
Leeds, Chelsea.
We'd love to see one of them.
We'd love to see that. I'm going to have to stop you there because we're going to hit a break in a minute. Yeah. If you don't know, Leeds and Chelsea played in the 1970 FA Cup final. One of the most brutal games. Check it out on YouTube. They've got some highlights. You will not believe some of the tackles that. I mean, Christian Romero to the power of 10, and it didn't even get a yellow. But it didn't have yellow. I didn't even get booked. Anyway, it's all to come. And we've got it for you live as ever on Premier League Live.
TalkSport Podcast.
I'm your host, John Anderson. Alongside me is the former Leeds midfielder, Sean Derry. This is Premier League Live, and so the scene is set. Chelsea could move into the top 4 tonight. They'd need West Ham to do them a favour, but they'll be massive favourites here. They've won their last 3 home games in all competitions, although curiously they have taken fewer points here than they have on the road this season, 21 to 22, and they haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 5 games. Leeds will be hoping that that run continues. Their team is being announced. It's fairly defensive. It's almost a 3-5-2 really, with Lucas Emecha in for the injured Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But it's a defensive-looking Leeds team, and I was going to say to you, the problem will be if if they concede an early goal, what happens? Plan A goes out the window, and then what do you do then? Or do you just think, well, you wouldn't go into any game expecting to lose, but I suppose, having taken 3 points off Chelsea at Elland Road, it wouldn't be a disaster if they lost here, but they need to keep picking up points.
Well, they do. I just look at where their outlets are, and Nemecha is leading the line, but I look at the support around him, John, and there's not a lot of legs that carry the threat going in behind this Chelsea back 4. So if they do concede early, they are going to have to reevaluate what this team looks like.
The Chelsea song "Blue is the Colour" is ringing out across Stamford Bridge. We were talking about the 1970 FA Cup final in the days of Ron Chopper Harris and Eddie McCready and David Webb of Chelsea, and for Leeds, Johnny Giles, Jack Charlton and Billy Bremner. I don't know if those are names that our listeners are familiar with, but they're giants of the game in both clubs, and that particular game kind of started a bit of a rivalry. They're calling this the Battle of the Bridge, and I mean, they're miles apart. They have been miles apart recently in terms of league positions, but they're miles apart in terms of geography as well. But as they lined up in 1970 at Wembley and then a replay at Old Trafford, Chelsea are in all blue and Leeds United are in all white. The referee tonight is Rob Jones. It's a sort of swirly, drizzly, misty kind of evening in February. But we're underway here. Don't forget, we've got 3 other games for you tonight. We'll keep you updated on scores as Chelsea defend early on with Cucurella, and then Palmer, who of course got that hat-trick at the weekend against Wolves. They're up against another of the struggling clubs. That's a poor ball by Palmer, and there's a chance here for Mecha, for Leeds to get something going, and it's cut back dangerously initially for Leeds by Bogle, but it hit him, came back and dribbled out of play.
Well, it's been a good start for Leeds. I mean, we talked about how can they get close support up and around their number 9 Mecha. Well, they've proved today that there's legs in this Leeds United team, but we talk about them old games as well, John. I really encourage a Leeds United performance to be as kind of tough of them 1970s games, because if you want a game of football against this Chelsea team, you're going to lose. This is a team stacked full of quality, and I think Leeds can go and ruffle some feathers here tonight.
Here's Palmer. I'm looking forward to seeing Estevao tonight. He's been absolutely outstanding. The 18-year-old Brazilian doesn't even turn 19 till the summer. Here's Trevor Chalobah, who's had such a great season, finding Cucurella. Chelsea just getting an early feel of the ball. The strange quirk of the fact that this is on a Tuesday night means that I didn't know this until somebody cleverer than me came up with this statistic. Well, Chelsea haven't won in any of their midweek games this season, and Leeds United haven't won in their last 7 midweek games. I don't know what it is about floodlights that's affected that. The Chelsea stat is very surprising, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. Again, there's been a little bit of unrest and turmoil and change at Chelsea, so Liam Rosini will be looking for this to highlight what's been a great start. From a new manager bounce, a new perspective that he'll be looking at, he'll be seeing this as one of them big opportunities to go and get a massive 3 points.
Well, both Carrick and Rossignol are looking for their 5th consecutive Premier League wins tonight.
Very good.
Here's Moises Caicedo for Chelsea. That's a good ball. Fernandes drives it forward and finds João Pedro. Cucurella's on the overlap, but he's offside. And the flag is raised on that far side. We mentioned Leeds United's problems potentially in creating goals. They've scored 43 this season, which is actually the most in the bottom 6. But of course, without Calvert-Lewin, they are shorn of their main source of goals. He's got 10 this season, and he's really hit the purple patch. And I don't think it's a serious injury, but the problem with Calvert-Lewin, of course, he does tend to be injury prone, doesn't he? So they'll be hoping this is not a long-term one. I don't think it is, because Daniel Farke was saying yesterday that he thought it was possible that he might be fit tonight. He obviously isn't, but that suggests it's not a particularly bad one, and Leeds probably would have rested him anyway in the FA Cup. They're at Birmingham City. That'll be another bruising encounter.
Absolutely.
Won't it?
When you talk about some of the signings of the season, he's right up there with me. Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yes.
You know, you think of Granit Xhaka at Sunderland. And, take it away from the top level teams. You know, you've got to say he's made such a big impact at this football club. He's been brilliant.
Leeds have given the ball away, and Malo Gusto will drive it infield. Caicedo tries to push it forward to João Pedro, but Leeds come away with it, and Bogle tries to wrestle it across, but is not able to, and Cucurella gets it back to Robert Sanchez, wearing a bright orange goalkeeping outfit today. Here's Caicedo just driving away from Bogle and finding Cucurella on this left-hand side. Chelsea enjoying spells of possession, as you'd expect. And Chalobah forward to Caicedo. And now it's Andres Santos. He was another, actually, who was doubtful for this game, but he's made it through. That's a chip forwards too far ahead of João Pedro, the Brazilian up front. He's got 13 goals this season. Aronson, the American international, will be looking forward to the World Cup in home soil in the summer. This is Ilya Gruev, who produced one of the passes of the season, didn't he, against Forest? It was a sensational through ball, which was stuck away with aplomb.
You mentioned the young boy Estevao was there the other week when he scored that fantastic goal at Crystal Palace.
Oh yes.
When he ran the length of the field and he just held off, I think it was Tyrick Mitchell on the night, and he was just outstanding.
Strength
fantastic,
for an 18-year-old.
unbelievable.
He's got it all, hasn't he?
I didn't realise he was the top scorer in Brazilian football last year. At such a young age. You know, he's been fantastic in his short time spent here. Palmeiras,
he scored 24 goals in 78 games for them. I mean, 78 games already. You know, in the Brazilian main division. Here's Caicedo, just takes his eye off the ball and loses it. And Leeds will pick it up with Jayden Bogle, who's seen quite a lot of the ball in these early exchanges. This is James Justin, the former Leicester City man, finding Bogle again. Bogle, who scored in that win against Forest. Crucial win. Now then, Gusto's won it on the far side. There's not many in the box for him, just João Pedro at the moment. He's being shadowed quite closely by Goodmanson. The ball comes back to Josh Achampong, who is preferred to Wesley Fofana, although Fofana is another who's had injury issues, so he's probably just getting a rest. He is on the bench.
Well, that was an issue, wasn't it? You know, the old manager, he was, I guess, getting frustrated with the fact that you've got to rest some of these players, you know, and if you've got that opportunity where, you know, you've got a number of players like this, they all want to play, John. You know, that's what they want to do,
that's
these
the problem
players.
with having a big and talented squad, isn't it? Because half the squad are going to be unhappy every week. Anyway, ball forward towards João Pedro, who gets there actually and does well to just shield himself away from Biol, but nothing comes of it. The ball comes all the way back to Achampong again. Here's Andres Santos. 3 Brazilians in the Chelsea starting lineup today. 7 minutes gone. Chelsea 0, Leeds 0. No goals anywhere else. Spurs, Newcastle and Everton. Bournemouth kicking off at the same time as this one, we have West Ham Manchester United coming up in about 45 minutes time, maybe just under.
This is what he's good at, Goodmanson.
Yeah.
He drives out of this defence. His power, pace. He really is a good player on the top line, and an early booking there for Gusto. He's he'll have it on tonight, Gusto, because he likes marauding down that left-hand side. Goodmanson.
Yeah. It was late challenge after Goodmanson had got the ball away, and the Leeds United wing-back is still wincing a little. 26-year-old Swede. His dad, Niklas Goodmanson, played for Blackburn and Ipswich in England. He's got to his feet slightly painfully, but he's going to be okay. Leeds will need everyone fit and well if they're going to... I mean, if they take a point from this, they'll be absolutely delighted, won't they?
Oh, they will. Yeah, they will.
Here's the free kick. It's nodded back by Leeds in the shape of Biol, and then it comes back harmlessly, and Sanchez bowls it underarm. There's a lot of space here for Malo Gusto as he crosses halfway and finds Cole Palmer. Palmer got 3 in the first half. I'm told he's the first Premier League player ever to score 3 separate hat-tricks, all of them in the first half of a game. Now then, here's Esteval with a touch. João Pedro trying to return it to Esteval, but out comes keeper Darlow and smothers his first action of the game, former Forest and Newcastle man.
Oh, it's good play there by João Pedro. A lovely first touch and a reverse passing behind this back three, and I think that's what Chelsea have got to do here tonight. They've got to be effective and quick in front of this Leeds United back five, because we just see a scene there, John, where Leeds lost the ball and within 5 seconds the whole group are behind. Yeah. And that's the difficulty when you play against defensive teams.
Yeah, that's the way they're set up, that's for sure. Chelsea are going to have to be patient, but as we saw there, João Pedro, who is a very intelligent player who can pick a pass, looking at ways of trying to unlock the door. We're up to nearly 10 minutes. All this with Ampadu. And Leeds just caressing it around at the moment. This is Biol. And out it comes to the wide right. This is Bernal, who's Belgian international. He's one of the 3 that's come into the Leeds side tonight. As I said, no Pascal Stroke, we talked about Calvert-Lewin missing. Strauch is a big miss as well, because he's been at the club a while, and he's the kind of heartbeat of that defensive setup, isn't he?
Well, he was here, wasn't he, last time Leeds were in the Premier League, and it was a fire sale, wasn't it, when everyone left and went to pastures new. But Pascal Stroik, he stayed, and he got himself as a fan's favourite, and he's kept his spot at this Leeds United back three. I mean, that's been interesting, is the manager's not afraid to change from a 4 to a 5, and it's been a mark of a largely successful season.
Well, if they stay up, it's a successful season, that's for sure, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Ball is launched forward by Leeds up towards Nmecha, who's beaten in the air, and Chalobah jabs it forward, but he's been penalised there somewhat harshly at first glance, but it's a free kick to Leeds United, who may fancy a set piece as a good way of maybe threatening Chelsea.
These are what they'd be talking about, won't they? These opportunities in and around the box, not necessarily free-flowing football where they can exploit this Chelsea backline, but set plays are huge, and we've seen even more so in the Premier League this year.
Yeah, well, it's a free kick midway inside the Chelsea half. Gruev, who we mentioned is a cultured player, with his left foot is going to drive it into the box. It's not a particularly good ball, and it's just nodded back by Chalobah to his goalkeeper. And Chelsea can try and build again with Palmer, who's quite deep in his own half, finds Andre Santos. Now it's Enzo Fernandez. It does look as if Fernandez is playing slightly to the left and Palmer in the middle, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's got the free rein, Palmer, just to have a little wander around this pitch.
Well, he's another one who can pick a lock, isn't he?
Oh yeah, I mean, if we're now suggesting after the hat-trick at the weekend.
There's a stoppage here. What's happened here? Andre Santos has gone down injured. Palmer initially went down holding his ankle, but he seems to be okay. Not sure what's happened there, but the referee is calling the two captains together, Enzo Fernandez and Ethan Ampadu, to just have a little polite word. It was just a stamp down, wasn't it, by Mecha, very late and rather clumsy, but not particularly malicious, and no action is taken. Here's Cucurella from the subsequent free kick, cuts it back, useful ball. Joao Pedro can't sort his feet out, and it'll be cleared for Leeds United by Ampadu up towards Mecha, and then rolls it out of play. It's going to be a Chelsea throw, and Cucurella takes it quickly, but then is brought back. I'm not sure, was it initially given to Leeds? I don't know.
Yeah, I think Leeds are...
Chelsea thought it was their throw, took it quickly. Liam Rossini is shaking his head, wearing a rather fetching black polo neck.
Loves a roll neck, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah.
Looks like a sort of cashmere job, that one.
It's been an expensive one.
Yeah, well, I bet it is. Must be warm as well, because he's not particularly warm here, and he's just got a light roll neck jumper and a blazer.
Dropping off chocolates later on, wasn't he?
that joke I got, I'll have to explain it. It refers to an advert from the 1970s for chocolate, where a James Bond type figure would deliver the chocolates to the young lady of his dreams. You are so showing your age there.
I know. Sorry, listeners.
I reckon I'm the only person who got that. 14 gone, 0-0, which Leeds will be happy about. They haven't conceded the early goal, which they would have feared. In fact, they're on the counter-attack here with Aronson, and I think he's been fouled there, and that might be another booking on Champong, and it is a yellow card. So we've had two Chelsea yellow cards early, and that one I think was warranted, because he had a couple of goes at him, and the American went tumbling when he was clear. So it's a booking for Joshan Champong, so there's two Chelsea players walking a tightrope now.
Great perseverance there by Aronson. He could have gone down earlier, actually. Stayed on his feet and carried on running alongside Ochiempong, but silly pullback.
Yeah.
I mean, he had cover as well coming round his side, so that's two defenders now on yellow cards.
Yes, it is, yeah, absolutely. And
cause for concern.
A free kick in a useful position as well, just outside the box with a quarter of an hour played. Brendan Aronson was the player who was fouled. Scored in a 3-0 win at Ellen Road for Leeds against Chelsea in August 2022. Leeds haven't done the double over Chelsea since 1992, when they won the title under Howard Wilkinson. Yeah. So a free kick for Chelsea to defend. The Chelsea fans are berating the referee, which is frankly absurd. It was clearly a foul. That just shows how partisan football fans are. Anyway, here's the free kick. It's not a good one. Straight at Robert Sanchez, who hardly had to move just to claim. That is a waste, isn't it, from James Justin, because that was a good position wide on the left.
Well, the last two have been disappointing. Yeah. I mean, you're going to suggest tonight Leeds are not going to have too many clear-cut chances.
Yeah, you need to take the advantage of those situations, certainly. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Oh, that's a lovely ball. Cucurella is free down the left-hand side. Cuts it back. Palmer's there! And he can't quite get hold of his shot. He's saying corner. I think the referee's awarded a goal kick. Gruev was the player in the way. It was an excellent cutback by Cucurella, but Palmer just couldn't really ever quite get the connection he wanted.
Well, it's brilliant defensive play by Gruev there. He saw the danger in the late run of Palmer. And it's a fantastic cutback by Cucurella, because there's enough bodies inside that 6-yard box to suggest it needed to be that type of cross.
Yeah.
And his times of his runs are good, aren't they, Palmer?
Oh, yeah.
You know, he doesn't get in front of the ball too often.
As I said, two of the goals were penalties at the weekend, but they all look the same in the scorebook, as they say, and you know, he'll be delighted to be back on the goal-scoring trail. He's actually got 5 goals in his last 8 games. Got 18 last season, Cole Palmer. He's up to 8 this season.
Well, his third goal up at Molineux at the weekend. I mean, similar kind of movement to what we've just seen there.
Absolutely. And that was game over, wasn't it, with, 38 played, I think. They did pull one back, Wolves, but it was never, ever going to go any other way than Chelsea picking up the 3 points, and a 4th consecutive win in the Premier League for Liam Rossigna, who will take charge of an FA Cup side. They're back on Friday here, actually, the Chelsea fans, to watch their club in action against Hull City, who are actually doing pretty well in the...
They are. Yeah, they're doing
sorry,
very
it's
well.
away, isn't it? Is it away? Yeah, it's away. I beg your pardon, they're not here. But, I mean, that'll be a tough game up there.
Yeah.
Because Hull are doing well. They're knocking on the door of the playoffs. So, in fact, I think they are in the playoff positions, aren't they? But I imagine the team will probably be changed by Chelsea quite considerably. Here's Robert Sanchez in their goal, finding Santos, who's now picked out Achampong, who's striding forward with pace and purpose here. It's a really good run by the young defender, and he's still going. It's Achampong. He's found Cucurella. He was fouled, but I think the referee's let play continue. Fernandez shoots, and it's blocked by a defender. Fernandez gets the header. Here's Cucurella. Fernandez again, and he's taken it down towards the corner. It hits James Justin, comes back to Cucurella once more. Now it's Andre Santos finding Cole Palmer, and Chalobah. Chelsea looking to complete a spell of possession with a decent final ball. There's Palmer. Palmer might shoot, he does. It's blocked quite easily by Ampadu, and Leeds will bring it away, but they've lost the ball immediately. But the referee has spotted something there, maybe Goodmanson with a foul, and he gets booked. So there's been a flurry of yellow cards early on. We've only had 19 minutes, 2 for Chelsea and now 1 for Leeds. I think that's a bit harsh, isn't it? He's just run in. I know the ball has gone. And
Yeah.
I mean, there certainly wasn't much
I think
venom about the challenge.
No, I think Santos has made the most of that.
Well, I'm sure he has.
It's right in front of the referee. But I would say it's silly from Goodmanson,
Yeah.
because his side of the pitch has got 2 yellow cards from Chelsea.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's now on the back foot himself. It's some of the decisions some of the players make at times. You know, they are
clever.
weird.
Well, Barnau has just made a poor decision in fouling his man in a central position midway inside the Chelsea half. He's just pulled Fernandez back. Fernandez again has just looked for it again, hasn't he? He was
They're more
almost,
niggly,
he was
aren't
almost
they?
halfway down by the time the arm came across. But Bornau, the Belgian, former of Wolfsburg, has conceded a free kick. Enzo Fernandez is having to retie his boot. We've had 20 minutes. It's too far out for a shot, you'd fancy, because Chelsea don't have Dominic Szoboszlai in their ranks. That was quite a hit, wasn't it, on Sunday? Goodness me.
He's probably at the 2 best free kicks of the season, hasn't he?
Yes, I would say so. I thought that was even better than the one against Arsenal. The way it swerved, and the keeper never moved. He never actually, Donnarumma, giant goalkeeper, literally didn't move. Enzo Fernandez has taken an awfully long time to tie his laces, but he's finally achieved that. And Chelsea have a free kick, and it's taken short by Fernandez, who gets it back and then chips it away. Pedro will shoot, didn't get hold of it at all. The initial control was good by the Brazilian, but his swing of the left boot made little or no contact with the ball, and it went through to Carl Darlow. He was onside, I think, João Pedro, but a bit of a miss kick.
Off a chance for João Pedro there. If he'd have just got his touch out of his feet a little bit earlier, he'd have had a great opportunity to have a strike on goal. I mean, I found the setup from the free kick a little bit strange there by Leeds. Don't know if they was envisaging a shot on goal.
Yeah, well, it's too far out for this. I mean, even Szoboszlai, I think, might not have gone for goal from there, but Chelsea have it inside their own half. Santos back to Trevor Chalobah. Has really grown up as a player this season, I think. Santos, that's a good ball. Palmer's away from his man. This is dangerous for Chelsea. It's Cole Palmer, and he's been tripped there by Goodmanson, who's already been booked. And he could be... Oh, he's Bornau, I beg your pardon. I thought it was Goodmanson again. It's not. But I think it's going to be a booking for him. So that's 4 now, 2 for each team.
It's got a little bit niggly, the game, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's just every time a player gets away from his man, there's a trip or a push or whatever. Sebastian Bornau is yellow carded, so that's he and Goodmanson for Leeds, and Gusto and Achampong for Chelsea. We're midway through the first half of the game. It hasn't really got going yet. We haven't really seen anything by way of a decent goalmouth opportunity for either side. Chelsea have a free kick though, and this one is in range. Palmer and Fernandes are standing over it. It's about 25 yards from goal, in a fairly central position. Leeds have a four-man wall for this one, and probably are expecting a shot, certainly this time. I think it might be Fernandes with his right foot to try and guide it in, will it? Yes, Palmer's walked away, but there's a little manoeuvre there, and it ends up with Fernandes hitting it. It was a weak shot. It took a deflection and just spun into the gloves of Carl Darlow.
I'm really surprised that they've gone for some sort of short routine there.
Yeah.
I thought it was perfectly poised to any of them to really have a shot on goal.
Yeah.
It was a lovely angle for either a left foot or a right foot.
Absolutely, yeah. Enzo Fernandez has been in form, as has Cole Palmer recently. 3 goals in 5. Now then, here's João Pedro. This is a great chance for Chelsea, and he takes it, clips it beautifully over the outrushing Darlow, and Chelsea from nowhere, one through ball. João Pedro is onto it with his left foot. He's found the net. Good finish, as you'd expect from him. 24 played. Chelsea 1, Leeds 0.
Well, we've seen the threat of this Chelsea team only in the last 5 minutes, especially when Cole Palmer gets in the little half spaces in between this Leeds United defensive midfield. Is so difficult to pick out, Cole Palmer, but he gets himself on the half turn and an incredibly gifted pass into João Pedro. And you knew, didn't you, as soon as he was facing goal, there's only one outcome. He's in fine form, and his finish is absolutely sublime. On the half turn, sees it, he's definitely onside.
Absolutely.
It's a perfectly weighted pass and a lovely dink
Lovely finish.
to make it 1-0.
Two craftsmen there, Palmer and Pedro.
Wonderful play.
I mean, one with a brilliant pass, another one with a brilliant finish. And as you say, you knew what was going to happen. João Pedro has now got his 14th goal of the season, his 5th in his last 6 games. So, I mean, you know, again, if Chelsea are going to push for the top 4, that kind of form's going to help them enormously. Great celebration also from Liam Rosenior. Big celebration from the Chelsea fans, and a big discussion going on amongst the Leeds players as to how they were undone by that one pass and Pedro allowed to stay on side.
Well, normally when you're playing a back 5 like that, there is a lack of space in between full-backs and centre-halves, but I mean, you could have got a bus through that opening then. Take nothing away from the pass. The pass made the goal, didn't it?
Yeah, hat-trick at the weekend and an assist already today. There is a stoppage because a couple of Leeds players got injured in all of that. One was the goalkeeper Darlow, who's now back on his feet. The other, I think, was Sebastian Bernal, who is taking rather longer to get back up. But João Pedro is celebrating his goal.
Been really impressed with João Pedro. I think he's really starting to believe that is this number 9. How many times has this Chelsea team been questioning their number 9s over recent years?
I mean, I watched him as a kid at Watford. He started, it was his first club in this country, and you could tell at 18, the main thing about it is he's a clever player. He sees the big picture. You know, he's very skillful and he's a good finisher. But I mean, he can pick a pass. I mean, if that could have been the other way round, Pedro to Palmer, probably with the same result.
Absolutely. And I think that's why, you know, sometimes you look at players and you say, who can they play alongside? Who can they really play with and
those two
get the most out of each other?
Leeds are trying to react quickly with a ball forward. It's headed away by Chalobah and then by Enzo Fernandez, and eventually it drops for Caicedo, who tries to guide it away towards Estevao. He's had a quiet game actually so far, the young Brazilian. Haven't seen a lot of him, but I'm sure he'll come into the game. But Leeds have really suffered what they didn't want to, which was a fairly early goal. Now then, here's Cole Palmer. They're standing off him. Gusto to one side, Palmer with the shot, and it's straight at goalkeeper Darlow. Possibly not the right option. He had loads of support. I can't believe how much space he was given there, given his talent, that Leeds just backed off and backed off. But in the end, I think they were lucky that Palmer chose to shoot rather than pass.
Well, the build-up's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? You know, I think every single connection was through the centre of the pitch there for Chelsea. I mean, they really lent the ball and trusted each other. The movement off the ball, exceptional. Look at Palmer again, always searching for that little tight pass, isn't he, in the middle of the pitch.
27 played. Chelsea have got the goal they want. No score, incidentally, in any of the other games. Everton 0, Bournemouth 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Newcastle 0. West Ham and Manchester United get underway in just over 15 minutes' time. And of course, if Chelsea win and Manchester United don't, Chelsea will go into 4th. I mean, you fancy probably this season, given how many English teams there are in the Champions League, and the fact that all of them, apart from Newcastle, have qualified for the next stage. They'll probably 5th will probably get you into the Champions League because of the coefficient. I mean, it will be hard, you know, if all of those clubs progress. 5th place might be all right, but you can't rely on that just yet. But it is unusual. We've got 6 teams, of course, with Tottenham winning the Europa League last season. Here's Ampadu for Leeds, trailing by a goal to 0. Ball is flicked forward by Bogle, and that's a useful-looking pass by him. And there's an overlap here with Bernal. Oh, and he's done brilliantly well to get past Cucurella, plays the ball into the box, it deflects off Chalobah, comes out to Gruev, who just flicks it over the top. Now it's Ampadu. Gruev again on the far side of the field, the Bulgarian international, but we're going to see play halted because Leeds have got a player down injured in the centre circle with 29 minutes played, and that'll halt proceedings. Half an hour gone at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in a big game for both clubs. It's goalless between Tottenham and Newcastle United at the moment. We'll bring you updates as the goals go in. That was some good little bit of play down the right-hand side, wasn't it, by Bernal, who completely tricked Cucurella, put him on his backside. They were appealing for handball here, Leeds, against Chalobah. No, it's come off his thigh. No question of a handball there.
Just on that breakaway for Leeds there, I mean, Nemecha got caught a little bit, not too much, but I still thought he could have stood on his, you know, he stayed up on his feet and joined the attack. So that's one Leeds United body not in the 18-yard box. And then at the opposite side, there was barely a push. They were on about Gusto now pulling. He didn't pull.
No.
If this gets pulled up, the referee straight away. Leeds let themselves down there.
No, he hasn't given a free kick. He's just driven a drop ball. So
2 players hit the deck too early. Bit of a lack of honesty from the players.
Half an hour gone. Chelsea 1, Leeds United 0. It's the only goal of the night so far. That's a bit of a chancy ball by Ampadu. It's come back to Darlow, and he's knocked it straight out of play. It's not the goalkeeper's fault. I don't think he really wanted the pass back, and it's gifted Chelsea possession inside the Leeds half, but just for the time being it's come all the way back to Chalobah. Now Santos finding Fernandez on halfway. This is Caicedo.
Just looking at Fernandez in this little left-sided position. He's such a technical player, isn't he? I mean, he's not going to be.
He's not a wide man, is he? But he's making the role work.
He is. I mean, the way they've kept the ball tonight, Chelsea. I mean, all of them are full of technique.
Ball pumped forward to João Pedro. I suspect he's offside, and he is. He looked across and saw the flag immediately raised, and it'll be a free kick to Leeds United. He was miles offside. Actually, it was a very easy decision for the assistant. I think João Pedro initially thought I'll leave it, and then thought, oh, I might as well. And the inevitable flag came up. Here's Darlow, wearing a mauve goalkeeping kit today. Pushes it out to Gruev. Back to Darlow again. Darlow just rather slices his clearance, and it goes miles out of play on the halfway line. Liam Rosenior with gleaming white trainers to match his, or rather not match his all-black kit. Chelsea have had 6 attempts on goal. Leeds have had 1. And not on target yet, so Robert Sanchez hasn't been tested at all. Nor has Darlow, really, to be fair. I mean, he was beaten all ends up by Pedro's excellent finish.
I think the next stage of this kind of these early days for Rossini is, can they put somebody to the sword? These fans are now searching for a statement win.
A statement win, exactly. Goodmanson heads it away for Leeds. It goes out of play on the far side. Throw-in's taken quickly. It comes back to Malo Gusto. Now it's Andre Santos inside the centre circle. Just plays a 1-2 with Palmer, and then forward to João Pedro. João Pedro, it's a brilliant ball to Cole Palmer, who uncharacteristically delayed when he should have shot. It was a wonderful little flick by João Pedro. Palmer was onto it, and I was just about to say the same combination again, except that Palmer just seemed to delay too long, and he never got a shot away at all, really, in the end. Here he is once more, though, finding Caicedo. Chelsea are beginning to find a way through, though, aren't they?
Oh, they are. I mean, you mentioned that partnership.
Here's Palmer again. And again, he's lost out, but it's come to Fernandes. Here's João Pedro again. He shoots again, and this time it's wide. On the turn, on the volley from João Pedro. But Chelsea are beginning to look like a team who've got more goals in them.
Yeah, two real big chances there for Chelsea. I was really surprised of the lack of urgency from the first chance in Cole Palmer, especially after his weekend away at Molineux with that hat-trick. You'd think he'd be busting to score that first goal tonight. It's a real big opportunity. He just slowed it down at the wrong time. 30 seconds later, he's the one who slided the ball in for João Pedro. Another good chance for Chelsea.
34 played. It's beginning to look as if it's going to be a long night for the travelling Leeds fans, who, as ever, have come down in numbers and are loud. And what's it like playing at that, particularly at Ellen Road? I mean, everyone says, I mean, I've been there many times, but you've played there. I mean, it's almost a 12th man, isn't it? The crowd.
Of the teams I played for, John, I've got to say, Leeds United, it was an absolute privilege to pull on that white shirt. You know, the history that surrounds that football club, and you feel it.
Yes, you do.
You feel it inside the stadium.
Absolutely.
Carries massive weight, the shirt does.
Yeah, it does.
But it's a wonderful football club.
And the fans are incredible, aren't they? The noise is ridiculous. And it's a great ground because you're so near the pitch, aren't you? It's an old-fashioned football ground, if you like.
By the way, they tell you if they're not happy. I got told once or twice, John.
Yeah, I bet you did. Well, they're not backwards in coming forward, Yorkshire folk, are they?
No.
Never short of an opinion.
And this is why, it's so important that a team like Leeds United have to be in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Because they carry that authority in British football.
And they were down in League One at a stage, and they looked ridiculous. When you looked at the table, you could hardly believe that Leeds were there. I mean, I grew up in an era when, they were controversially denied a European Cup against Bayern Munich in a game where there's all kinds of accusations of referees being rigged and goodness knows what. They lost 2-0 to Bayern Munich. I think Peter Lorimer had a goal disallowed that people still can't understand why. And there was a lot of bitterness, obviously, about that. And of course, they've, under Don Revie, they won the title, they won the cup.
Well, 17 years they spent out of the Premier League, and now they're back in it for the second time in 3 years.
Yeah.
And this is so important that they stay at this level. Yeah,
absolutely. 2007 to 2010, they were in the third tier of English football. Here's Cucurella tackling back, and Bogle's done well to get away from him. But Chalobah, not Caicedo, was there to block it. 9 minutes to go to half-time. Chelsea leading by a single goal. They'd love another one to take into the dressing room at half-time. Daniel Farke looking pensive in his black hooded top. Ampadu wipes the ball on his shirt, which suggests that he's maybe going to try and get a bit of distance, the Leeds captain, on this throw-in. They've got the likes of Joe Rodon up there, who's a tall man. Ampadu, little bit of a run up here at Stamford Bridge, hurls it into the box. It's flicked on by Bornau, but that comes to nothing, and it's cleared. I don't think that'll be kept in, and it won't, so it'll be a throw into Chelsea on the near side.
We've seen a lot of them direct throws, aren't we, in the Premier League this year? Yeah,
absolutely. They've come back into vogue, haven't they?
I mean, I know it's a real bad night here at Chelsea. The rain's pouring down. You're slipping out of Ampadu's hands there, but sometimes I do think you can still mix it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with long throws at all. I mean, Liam Delap is on the bench. His dad Rory was the king, wasn't he,
Wow,
of the long
absolutely.
throws? And I mean, if you've got the opportunity to get the ball into the box and cause defenders problems, then why not use it? That's a good ball across by Palmer towards Cucurella, who finds Santos. Now it's Palmer. That's lovely play by Chelsea, except that the final ball by Fernandes, which should have found Cucurella, had too much on it and it went behind instead. Had Cucurella been in there, he would have had absolutely acres of space to work in.
Yeah, I mean, he was just treading a fine line, whether or not he was offside. I think he was on, actually. Yeah, he was on. Goodmanson was playing him on at the far side. It's the first giveaway that Fernandes is giving the ball away tonight.
Yeah, it's unlike him. But we're just sensing here that the likes of João Pedro and Cole Palmer seem to be holding the key, because they're able to find passes that Leeds are not expecting. And they're finding a way through, as we saw with the goal, which was beautifully created and very well finished. Six and a half minutes to go to half-time. Many stoppages so far. Sanchez took a bit of a chance there under pressure from Aaron. Somebody managed to clear his lines in the end and find Achampong. We've had 4 bookings. It hasn't been a dirty game. It hasn't been a 1970 FA Cup final kind of game yet between Chelsea and Leeds, has it? But with so many players on a booking, you fear there might be a red card somewhere if any one of those players just mistimes a challenge or goes in a little too hard.
I think Leeds have got to come out this second half. If it goes in at 1-0, there's got to be some sort of reset to. It doesn't sit well with me tonight, this Leeds team. And don't get me wrong, they're in the Premier League. They're making a fight for it.
Here's Esteval for the first time. Sorry, I'm just going to cut you off because he's charging forward. But it looks like Rodon's got the measure of him and has steered it back to Darlow, who fires it forward. First time, strong header by Achampong, and back it comes to Chalabar, and Chelsea looking to try and double their advantage before the interval, which is not far away. Here's Santos finding Cucurella. Santos again, now Chalabar. And Achampong. We're into the last 5 minutes of the half. Still a miserable, drizzly night in West London. But a big crowd with plenty of support for the visitors. But at the moment, they don't even look like carving out a worthwhile chance yet, Leeds. Long ball forward, and Malo Gusto's onto this, and he's tried to find Esteval, but Rodon's done well with the challenge. And Aronson has it far side for Leeds, still just inside his own half. Pursued by Gusto, who gets the tackle in and finds Fernandes. And now it's Palmer, and Palmer just nudges it off to Andre Santos, who's got Cucurella and Palmer to choose from. Palmer collects it, and now it's Caicedo, who sweeps it out to Gusto on the far side. Chelsea could be one good pass away from maybe doubling their lead. Fernandes, that's a brilliant ball, and Gusto will hang it into the box, but it's sliced away by Gruev, and it's come back to Cucurella. Cucurella trying to get past Gruev, can't do so, finds Fernandes. Now it's Santos and Caicedo and Palmer. Chelsea just looking for the killer pass with all this possession that they've had. Santos switches it to the far side. It's Achampong finding Gusto. Gusto trying to get round his man. Chelsea still have it, but they're being pushed back at the moment. This is Fernandes. And it's come back to Robert Sanchez. Leeds haven't touched the ball for a couple of minutes or so. Here's Palmer laying it off, and that's a decent ball forward. Lovely touch by Pedro. Here's Esteval. Can he run and create something? Edge of the penalty area, the young Brazilian. And he shoots, and it's not his best effort, but you have to admire his confidence there. He's willing to take players on and have a shot. Not the best shot, but 3 minutes before half-time, that's been his first real contribution.
Yeah, we've not seen a lot of this young talent on the right wing. What we have seen, and I've just been marvelling for the last 5 minutes, John, of the movement of Cole Palmer. If there's a midfielder out here listening to and watching this game tonight, please watch Cole Palmer for the last 7 or 8 minutes. The amount of times he scans the pitch, looks around, sees options, first touch out of pressure, everything you want, you know, from a midfielder. And his passes are beautiful.
They are. Illiman and Jai with a penalty has put Everton a goal up against Bournemouth at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. It's Everton 1, Bournemouth 0. And Jai
that's another good player
from the AFCON, fantastic player. Superb player. Still 0-0 between Tottenham and Newcastle. All these games approaching half-time. In about a minute or so, West Ham United will be kicking off against Manchester United. Michael Carrick looking for a 5th successive win as United boss. Liam Rosenior is almost halfway to his 5th consecutive Premier League win as Chelsea boss. Long throw from Ampadu, headed away quite comfortably by Chalobah, but Bornau tries to get there, but Fernandes has hacked it away for Chelsea. And it goes all the way back to Carl Darlow. This is Jayden Bogle. And now Rodon, who had a spell with Tottenham Hotspur. Back in London with Leeds, facing one of Tottenham's big rivals in Chelsea. Chelsea actually have got a huge game coming up around the corner against Arsenal. After their cup game against Hull, they played Burnley, then 3 big ones really: Arsenal away, Villa away, and Newcastle here. Here come Leeds with possibly their last opportunity to get themselves back into the game, but Andre Santos has got the ball away and has been fouled. It's another yellow card. That's the 5th of the game. It's been shown to James Justin. So 3 Leeds players and 2 Chelsea men have all been yellow carded by Rob Jones so far. There's another one. I'm entirely convinced it's a yellow card, but maybe the referee thinks, well, if I've penalised people before, I have to be consistent. But the danger there is that they're going to pile up to the point where somebody's going to get sent off.
They are, aren't they? I mean, they're silly little fouls rather than anything malicious.
It's not been a bad-tempered or malicious game, has it, at all? Anyway, we're up to 45 minutes. I don't think there's going to be a huge amount added on. We'll find out in just a second. 3, perhaps more than I thought.
Yeah, I don't know where they've got the 3 from,
I'm sure either. There was one stoppage, wasn't there, with a couple of Leeds players down. Anyway, Chelsea might get another chance before the 3 minutes is up. João Pedro with an astute header to find Fernandes. Now it's Santos, still quite deep, but inside the Tottenham half, finds Moises Caicedo. He picks out Gusto on the far side, or rather Estevao, I should say. Estevao just pushes it back to Acheampong. Now it's Santos again. It's a poor ball. Bogle will bring it away for Leeds, but Fernandes tigerishly wins the ball back, but then Mecha nips in and wins it back for Leeds. Fernandes with the tackle. There's a scramble on the near side, and the ball has gone over the line, and it's a Chelsea throw-in right in front of Liam Rosenior, who's about to march down the tunnel to issue his half-time instructions. What will he be saying, do you think?
Well, I think he'll be, of course, happy with this the start of the game, and they've took complete control, Chelsea. Probably asking them to be a little bit more dominant in front of goal.
Yeah.
You know, they've got there under control so many times. That final pass, that a little bit of aggression in front of goal is what's missed maybe a 3 or 4 opportunities in this first 45 minutes, and I think they can do that. You know, I think they've got players who can be a little bit more ruthless in front of goal.
Sorry, I've just had a little flash there saying that Joe Willock had scored for Newcastle at Tottenham, but I gather VAR has ruled it out. Very late goal, minute before half-time. VAR review, no goal, so it's 0-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's 1-0 here, with João Pedro on the ball, the scorer of that goal. That's another slightly disappointing ball, isn't it? Fernandez did the same thing, and Cucurella must be getting a bit frustrated because he's made a couple of really good, well-timed runs, and the ball's been overhit and not found him.
Well, that's where, you know, Cucurella looks a real threat, doesn't he? When he joins the attack, gets himself in them top positions on the top line. But that clinicalness has been missing out of this Chelsea team.
Yeah.
The build-up's been brilliant, I've got to say. Slow at times, but when they get moving through the thirds, they look like a real good side.
Well, we're almost up to 48 minutes. Once again, the clearance from Darlow is not very well hit. It's gone out of play via the head of James Justin. Ambrosino is still wildly gesticulating on the sidelines. But we are drifting now towards half-time. Darlow has it at his feet on the edge of his penalty area. That's not a good ball. Esteval almost nicked it away from Rodon, and Rodon did well and got his goalkeeper out of jail there, and then Esteval's gone through and Rodon's collided with the advertising perimeter, and now then VAR is talking to the referee, I think. But,
I think this is
I don't
naughty
think there
by
was anything
Esteval.
malicious in that, was there?
No,
I don't
we'll
know.
see that again, John. That's something that he was right on the touchline. Rodon's defended the situation.
Down their right-hand side. Romani takes it and throws all the way back to the goalkeeper, just to the left of the penalty area. Though it goes out towards the far side, and Sam Kima in field towards Romani, gets the ball back immediately. That's Romani again, just to the right of the D. Worked out towards the far side again. Zocchi. Intent on playing out from the back here, Napoli, and they found a way out. There is space down this near side if they can find it. Oliveira's in acres of space down this left-hand side, and the ball towards him is a really poor one, and it's straight to Jacobo Ramon, who goes back to the goalkeeper. Plays it low out from the back. Goodness me, he was dicing there, was the goalkeeper. It's not a particularly good clearance because it's gone straight to a blue shirt, but it could have been far worse. It has at least reached the halfway line, where Napoli will build again inside the centre circle with Stanislav Lobotka. Lobotka goes back to Juan Jesus. Low ball out towards this near side. Here's the Napoli number 26, Vergara. Vergara turns and goes back to Juan Jesus. And now it's back with the goalkeeper just on the edge of his 6-yard area. Just needs a big moment at the moment, this game, it really does. Como continuing to hold that high line just inside their own half. Rasmus Højlund playing on the shoulder, looking to stay on side as the ball's out towards the near side. There's the space, and they found it this time. Oliveira now down this near side for Napoli. Rather than continuing to drive down the left-hand side, he just holds the ball up and goes infield to Vergara, which allows Como to get back in numbers once more. Another wasted opportunity for Antonio Conte's mate as they go all the way back towards the halfway line. Here's Juan Jesus left to the centre circle. Closed down by Cucurella. Still it's Juan Jesus. Ball with pace out towards this near side. That's a nice turn by Rasmus Højlund, who popped up in a deep position down this near side. Wins himself a free kick as he draws the foul. So free kick for Napoli. Midway inside the Como half, just a few yards in field from this left-hand touchline. Currently got Antonio Vergara behind it. It's as if he's going to take it. The other player that was there was Elif Elmas, but he's walked away now. Approaching the midway point of the first half. Still goalless here. It is half-time in those earlier Premier League kickoffs now. So it's Chelsea 1, Leeds 0, Everton 1, Bournemouth 0, And in fact, Newcastle United have scored. I did mention that they'd gone behind through a Joe Willett goal. That was ruled out. Well, only a few minutes later, Malik Chow did give Newcastle the lead, so it's Spurs 0, Newcastle 1. Both teams struggling at the moment. And that'll be a welcome 3 points for Eddie Howe if they can get it tonight. This West Ham 0, Man United 0. That win for Chelsea would move them up into the top 4 if Manchester United don't win. That win for Newcastle would put them into the top 10, and a win for Everton would actually put them ahead of their Merseyside rivals Liverpool into 6th position. And for Spurs, well, goodness me, that could be particularly damaging for them. It would be even more damaging if West Ham were to win tonight against Manchester United. Ball's gone out of play down this near side, but the referee's called it back for a foul on Jaden Adai. So a free kick, I should say, for Como, midway inside their own half, just a few yards infield from the right-hand touchline. The foul was by Matias Oliveira, the Uruguayan. And it's already been taken. And again, showing possibly the lack of, lack of anything, to be fair, at the moment in this game, the first 23 minutes. Certainly a lack of urgency from both sides as Como took that free kick and just played it all the way back to their goalkeeper, Jean Boutez. They do have possession inside the centre circle. Is Sergio Roberto.
Everton 1, Bournemouth 0, Tottenham 0, Newcastle 1. It's goalless in the game that kicked off about 10 minutes ago between West Ham and
the finish, everything was top quality. We just haven't seen enough of that, John, from Chelsea's perspective. On the flip side of that, I'm hoping that Leeds come out in the second half and throw a punch, because they haven't. They kind of.
But you said it before the game. You were wondering where it's going to come from, and the answer is it hasn't come as you feared.
It hasn't, and I'm looking at the Mel an opportunity of getting something out of this game.
Yeah, I just wonder though. I mean, there's a few: Nonto, Tanaka, Okafor, James. James has been injured a lot lately, but
Axel Disasi now on the ball, loan signing from Chelsea on deadline day. Nuno Espirito Santo said he was very happy with how Disasi performed against Burnley. That was West Ham's first clean sheet under Nuno, which is, Burnley are threatening with relegation, but Disasi hasn't played, or prior to that game hadn't played at all in the Premier League. He was part of Chelsea's bomb squad. West Ham in possession in the Manchester United half on their right with Bowen. He goes inside to Potts. Now Disasi passes left to Somerville, up against Dalot. He cuts inside, Somerville pulls for a shot, and he does take a shot, and it was palmed away by Le Mans, out for a corner kick to the home side. It was a save that Le Mans should be making. It wasn't quite in the corner, but Somerville, you can tell he's a player playing with a lot of confidence. So Bowen's going to take this set piece. The likes of Souček and Mavropanos and Dufar inside the Manchester United box. In comes the corner now, headed away by Cunha. Wan-Bissaka with the ball, dinks it left looking for an unmarked Souček, who returns the pass to Potts. Now here's Juve, he can cross it first time, does so. Cleared away, but not perfectly well by Dalot. Manchester United then do properly clear their lines. Ball over the top played for Brian Mbeumo. Beaten to it by Mavropanos, who just calmly passes back to Hermansen. Bit of a loose pass. As the ball drifts out for a Manchester United throw-in. Well, 5 games in a row, Somerville has scored for West Ham. Although West Ham fans will argue it should be 6 in a row, because he did put the ball in the net against Nottingham Forest on January the 6th, but that goal was disallowed due to offside following a VAR review. But 1 or 2 suggestions that West Ham were hard done by, and they feel a bit hard done by at this point. Mateus Fernandes penalised for a foul on Luke Shaw. Free kick to the away side, midway into their own half. So coming up to 15 minutes, it's still 0-0 between West Ham and Manchester United. No major chance to speak of at this point. A couple of minutes ago, Crysencio Somerville had a curling effort which was saved by Lamons, but it was a save that you'd expect the Belgian stopper to make. It wasn't right in the corner. Manchester United building up on their right-hand side. It's with Cunha just by the byline. Tries to play a pass inside to Bruno Fernandes, but intercepted, and Diouf can clear the ball away. Plays it down the line, but I think the ball drifted out of play for a throw. Yep, Manchester United have the throw in midway into the Hammers half on the Manchester United right. Dalot just looking for some support to arrive, and he throws to the nearest man, and Cunha flicks the ball on to Kobbie Mainoo. And he did well to ride a challenge of Mateus Fernandes, and it needed Somerville to poke the ball out of play for a corner kick to the away side, who are pretty lethal from set pieces. They've scored 15 goals from set pieces in all competitions this season, Manchester United, and West Ham don't have the best time defending corners. They've conceded 12 goals from corners this season. Mbeumo's going to take this corner on the right. It's ballooned into the middle, aiming for Maguire, but he just harmlessly heads that behind for a goal kick. So that's the first corner negotiated for West Ham. A reminder, we've got 3 other Premier League games going on at the moment. All of them started 45 minutes before this one. Sam on the attack with Jarrod Bowen. He's been doubled up on by Luke Shaw and Lisandro Martinez. He has actually won a free kick for his troubles. He was barged into by the left-back Shaw. Bit of a cheap free kick for West Ham to win. The other scores in the Premier League, all half-time at the moment. Chelsea 1, Leeds 0. Everton 1, Bournemouth 0. And Tottenham Hotspur 0, Newcastle 1. Chelsea being a goal up means Manchester United are currently 5th in the Premier League table. And they've got some defending to do. 17 minutes played, 0-0 between West Ham and Manchester United. Free kick to the Hammers on their right. Plenty of bodies inside the Man United box. Bowen's going to take this free kick. He delivers it, but it's very, very disappointing by the England international. It went just over everyone inside the box and bounced behind for a goal kick. You'd expect better from Jarrod Bowen, West Ham's top scorer this season with 8 goals. 3 goals in his last 5 appearances against Manchester United, including the winning goal in this fixture last season, a penalty in stoppage time. Bit of a controversial decision that. Lamont's just under some pressure and had to rush as he dug out a clearance. So West Ham 0, Manchester United 0. Bit of an even game so far at the London Stadium. Freddie Potts winning a 50-50 against Casemiro, trying to hook the ball out left to Somerville, but it was over him, so that's a throw-in to Manchester United. Ball back in play. Man United lose possession. That's a good touch by Bowen, laying the ball off to Castellanos. Tries to play a pass out right to Wan-Bissaka, but Brian Mbeumo, to his credit, was tracking back well. Well, that was attack of vibrancy.
Listen, we don't know, do we?
No,
we're not on the inside of that dressing room, but he didn't look to be injured.
Well, it means that Chelsea now have Robert Sanchez in goal, back four of Malo Gusto, Josh Achampong, Trevor Chalobah, and now Joel Hato at left back. Moises Caicedo and Andres Santos are the midfield dynamos, and then it's Estevao, Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez, with João Pedro, the goal scorer, up front. Happily, it looks as if Joe Rodon is okay for Leeds United. So it's Carl Darlow in goal, Rodon, Sebastian Bernal and Joe Biel, with James Justin, Ethan Ampadu, Ilya Gruev and Gabriel Gudmundsson, Bogle, Aronson, and the front man is Lucas Emecha. No Dominic Calvert-Lewin today, or Pascal Struijk. Arguably Leeds' 2 most influential players at either end of the field. That's not easy to deal with, but deal with it they must. But they haven't, in truth, even really created a half chance, Chelsea, have they?
No.
Leeds, I should say. Chelsea have. Now then, here's Hato with his first involvement since coming on. It's a nice little touch by Estevao. There's a back flick too, and Hato had read that and had got through down that inside left position, but wasn't able to gather the ball. It's gone out of play off Nmecha. I mean, the Chelsea fans will be hoping just to avoid any nerves that they do get a goal quickly, just to presumably finish Leeds off. I mean, I can't see them getting 2. It's hard to see them getting 1 at the moment, but while it's 1-0, a goal can come from anywhere. You know, a refereeing decision, a VAR, a penalty, a mistake, anything, a goalkeeping howler. Sanchez, who's had nothing to deal with, punts the ball forward. And Gusto is onto the ball for Chelsea, down by the corner flag on this near side. Finds Estevao. Estevao shapes to cross, but instead flicks it through. It comes to Cole Palmer, quick feet inside the box from him. Now it's Caicedo. Caicedo across to Hato. And now Andre Santos. That's a little flick into the box. Can Pedro get there? He does. He finds Gusto. Gusto wants to shoot off his left foot. He's played it square instead. It's come to Fernandes, but there's a flag up and an offside decision, and a Leeds free kick is the result of all of that.
Not just tonight and in this game in particular, but general. That's something that I feel a little bit that's lost now in modern gamers. Them shots from outside the box. You know, there's a great opportunity there. I mean, I know it was offside, and it got pulled back for them. But at this opportunity, when it comes to the edge of the box, I'd like to see more shots. 15 years ago, we used to see loads of shots from the outside of the box.
I'll tell you what I've also noticed, not so much this season, but the last 2 or 3 seasons, the players who are in good shooting positions trying to pass instead of shooting. It happens a lot. Yeah. And it does seem strange. I mean, you see a player with a gaping opportunity and then they try and square it and it inevitably gets cut out. Here's Esteval, who's lost it in midfield. This is Gruev finding Aronson, the American international, on this near left-hand side. Now it's Rodon, who's clearly okay. I'm glad about that because he was clattered late in the first half. In fact, it was the very last action of the half, but he's okay now. The Welsh international, well over 50 caps for his country. Now it's Jayden Bogle, good tackle by Andre Santos, and Palmer just nicks it away and then gets away from his man. It's Cole Palmer down the left-hand side, pursued by Bornau, but back it comes to Hato, and now it's Andre Santos. And then Fernandes guides it back to Chalobah. Similar to the pattern in the first half, really. Chelsea are having all the possession and seeking to try and find a way beyond this very, very packed Leeds defence. Everyone's behind the ball in a white shirt, and it's almost on halfway. Even Mecha, who's nominally he is this main striker in the absence of Calvert-Lewin. Here's Pedro with a little flick, but he's lost out to Sebastian Bornau. But Chelsea have it again. Every time Leeds win the ball back, it's only for mere split seconds, really. Here's Gusto. Nice little touch for Esteval. Gusto again. Esteval's on the run here. And Rodon's done really well, actually, to outpace the young Brazilian. There's quite an age gap between them, 10 years. Here's Caicedo finding Palmer, lovely flick. Here's Esteval, edge of the box, shoots wide. He had a little run late in the first half, and he had another one there, but he rolled the shot wide in the end.
Well, that's the first threat we've seen from Esteval, isn't it? He's found himself in the middle of the pitch there, just drops his shoulder, finds himself 20 yards out. The returning João Pedro actually caused him a little bit of problem. He had
to manoeuvre his way around him. He did.
Got an early shot.
Good flick by Palmer to release him, wasn't it? Again, showing his skill. 6 minutes gone, second half. Still Chelsea 1, Leeds United 0. Elsewhere tonight, it is still West Ham 0, Manchester United 0 over in East London. Goodmanson trying to get round the outside. Good tackle by Caicedo. Caicedo goes down, the ball goes out of play. Leeds are looking at the referee, and I think he's awarded a corner, has he, for that?
Yeah, I think he has.
They were looking for a foul, Chelsea, on Caicedo, who went flat on his stomach onto the grass, and he's talking to the referee now, but I think a corner is the verdict.
Good body strength there in the corner by
I don't think there's anything wrong with what Goodmanson did there.
No.
Well, set piece opportunity. I've not had many corners, if any, in this game. Certainly Leeds is first, and it's going to be taken by James Justin. This could be an opportunity for them. It's poorly taken. That's the third time Leeds have had a set piece, 2 free kicks and a corner. Done nothing with any of them.
Yeah, really disappointing.
Not even close. That was poor. Straight at the first defender, not at no height. Very easy. Darlow clears long for Leeds, and it goes all the way through to Sanchez at the other end. He bowls it out quickly to Malo Gusto. Leeds have only scored 12 goals away from home this season. It's the third lowest tally in the division, and they've also conceded the third most away from home. I mean, 7 points so far from their away matches. Only Wolves and Burnley, who occupy the bottom two positions, have fared worse on their travels than Leeds.
Well, look, you know, we're watching this game tonight with a fresh set of eyes, and it doesn't surprise us, John, does it? You know,
no.
In boxing terms, they haven't laid a glove on them.
No, they really
haven't.
No. But they're still in the game.
They are in the game.
They are in the game. Chelsea will try and change that. Here's Esteval, that's lovely skill, and he's got away down the flank, and he's powering forward. He's got Gusto for company. Here's Malo Gusto now, who rolls it into Caicedo. They all shout shoot. That's a clever ball though to Esteval, edge of the Leeds penalty area. Gusto to Palmer. Palmer gets away from his man, wants to shoot, does shoot, it's blocked, and eventually it's scraped away by Biol. But Chelsea are looking menacing now, and you can hear the crowd getting behind them as they launch another attack, or attempt to. Here's Fernandez. Now Caicedo. The referee's got in the way there. I thought the referee was poorly placed there. He didn't move initially, and then the ball hit him. Anyway, Leeds are going to make a substitution. Noah Okafor is going to come on. Attacking midfield player, of course. Goal scorer against Nottingham Forest last time out for Leeds. And I think Leeds, at the moment, the way it's looking, they're going to have to maintain their home form if they're going to stay up, because away from home they've been struggling.
Yeah. And to be fair, when Noah Okafor has come on the pitch in previous games, he's carried that threat in behind. He's a purposeful runner, likes to play closer to the centre forward, and no surprises.
Player going off, I think, is Sebastian Bernard, who was one of the players who was on a yellow card.
Yeah, they've
so
changed
that's a positive move, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. They've changed the shape. They've gone back into a back four now with Okafor joining the top line.
Yeah, that goal was his third of the season on Friday night. It's a Swiss international, and he's on a chunk of this game. Actually, we've only had 10 minutes of the second half. As Chelsea try and come forward again, Leeds clear it. It's going to be a throw-in to Chelsea midway inside the Leeds half, which Esteval takes. Still a miserable, damp, drizzly old night in the capital. Here's Sanchez. He's going to go long and direct and straight down the middle, and it's a useful looking ball, and it's João Pedro. Oh, he's been pushed over in the box, surely. Well, the referee's decision is penalty. That was madness, absolute madness from Leeds, because João Pedro was running away from goal there, and Biol has literally blatantly pushed him over, and I don't think VAR is going to help Leeds here, because it looked clear cut.
Well, it's absolutely madness. Honestly, one straight ball, goalkeeper, 70-yard ball. I mean, it's a lovely pass.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lovely pass and a great run in behind by. Oh, we're just watching. Not just one hand, two
both
hand
hands
push.
and a blatant push.
One of the most blatant penalties we'll see all year.
Absolutely. And unnecessary too. I mean, yes, he was bearing down in an attacking position, but he was going away from goal.
Incredible.
He'd already decided, João Pedro, he wasn't able to shoot. He chested it down, and he's running away. And, it's just complete and utter madness from the Slovakian defender, who celebrated his birthday on Thursday, but has presented Chelsea with a gift opportunity to double their lead. And Cole Palmer, who converted 2 penalties at Molineux at the weekend and is very, very good from the spot, has an opportunity to score a goal which, in all intents and purposes, will probably win the game for Chelsea. It's Cole Palmer against Darlow, who's gone the wrong way. The ball's in the corner. Cole Palmer has scored 4 goals now in 2 games, 3 of them penalties. 58 minutes have gone, and Chelsea have now a lead, which I doubt they'll surrender. Chelsea 2, Leeds 0.
Well, it was quite a ruthless penalty there by Cole Palmer. Found the goalkeeper's bottom left corner, Carl Darlow diving the wrong way. It's a wonderful hit penalty. Enough pace and power. Put 2 goalies in there, John. You're not saving that. It's a great penalty.
Yeah, he went full stretch the wrong way, didn't he, Darlow?
His performances deserved a goal for me, Cole Palmer.
Yeah, he's been very good. He and João Pedro have been the 2 best players for Chelsea, and they've got a goal apiece now. Palmer has now got 9 for the season, 6 in his last 9 games, and of course the opportunity here maybe to get another 1 or 2.
You know, when you make a choice, decision like that, the manager's made a big call, hasn't he, Daniel Farke? Brought a centre-half off, put a centre-forward on, changed the shape, and then suddenly one of your players goes and does that. You just can't legislate for that.
It was madness, really. The only way you can describe it. I mean, you see a lot of penalties when you cover football over a season, but you don't see many A, as blatant as that, and B, as unnecessary as that. And right in front of the referee, who, it's pointed directly to the spot, and I don't think VAR even bothered to get involved.
We're just watching the manager there, his reactions on the sideline. He's I think he's a very cool and calm, calculated manager, but he can't believe what he's just seen.
Well, they have a throw in here, Leeds, which Ampadu will take. It's high and hanging, it's headed away to the edge of the box. Biol actually scored against Chelsea in the 3-1 win at Ellen Road earlier in the season, but he's absolutely gift-wrapped them a goal there. Long ball forward, it's gone back to Sanchez. We're almost up to an hour, and well, I wouldn't count you as a neutral, but I mean, if you're a neutral watching or listening, this game is potentially over, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless Chelsea do something unbelievably stupid.
Yeah.
Now then, here's Achampong, who's let the ball run out of play rather wastefully. Liam Rossinho is urging his team on. He looks like a manager who's not going to settle for 2. He wants, as you said, they need a statement win, don't they?
Well, they do, and they've still got that ability, haven't they? That opportunity for the last half an hour to get a couple more goals in this game, and you can see them if they just want to step it up another notch.
Yeah.
I guess the worry for the manager is that they just hit the cruise control button.
I don't think the manager's going to settle for that, is he? I mean, they were 3-0 up against Wolves and then conceded a goal. I'm not sure what his reaction to that was, but I mean, okay, 3-0 up against the league's bottom club. That's a beautiful pass by Fernandes to Palmer. Palmer's on the edge of the Leeds penalty area, and he wins a corner off the shins of James Justin. Elsewhere, still West Ham United 0, Manchester United 0. We're about 10 minutes from half-time there. Tottenham 0, Newcastle 1. Malik Chow right at the end of the first half, and Everton 1, Bournemouth 0. Iliman Ndiaye with a penalty at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Now then, here's Estevao. Chance for Chelsea. João Pedro. There's a scramble. He toe pokes it back to Santos. It's then hit by Gusto. It's still not clear. And then it's sliced across the face of goal by Enzo Fernandez. What a scramble. The best chance, I think, in all of that was when the ball initially fell to João Pedro, but he just couldn't quite get his shot away.
Oh, it was like a pinball, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
It really was. I think that's...
It's a good challenge, actually, by Biol, who's probably keen to make amends.
Yeah, he should do as well. I mean, the last chance to Fernandes, I mean, it's ended up going out for a throw-in.
It has.
He's not caught it at all, has he?
No, he hasn't.
That's the ruthlessness.
Yeah.
Are just missing out of this Chelsea team. Very good
absolutely.
players.
Well, Arsenal won 4-0 at Ellen Road, didn't they? Which is a very difficult place to go. That's why they're top. Can you see anyone displacing Arsenal? Let's just... the attack has broken down. I mean, I think it would be difficult. Not difficult for Arsenal not to win the title, but they're the best team.
Yeah,
and they're producing results, and other teams around them are dropping points. I mean, Aston Villa are falling away, aren't they? Manchester City, but if they hadn't had that late goal at Liverpool, they'd have slipped up. It's a 6-point gap with 13 games to go. That's a pretty healthy gap, isn't it?
It is. I mean, what I would say is that Manchester City they're so comfortable playing it out like this, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've been in this situation before. And it's still new for Arsenal.
Yeah, they've got Tottenham coming up as well in a couple of weeks, haven't they?
I thought the
manner
of the win at the weekend, just all the emotion that surrounded the Manchester City win against Liverpool was huge.
Yeah, it
up
was.
in Manchester.
Yeah. But, you know, you kind of expected maybe that Arsenal might stumble against a very good Sunderland side, but they swept them away, didn't they, really?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. I mean, they've got incredible... we talk about the quality on show tonight for Arsenal. I just think the profile of that Arsenal team is just wonderful.
Yeah. Arsenal are in action on Thursday. They're up against Brentford away in a London derby. Before that, City are at home to Fulham, Liverpool go to Sunderland, and Aston Villa are at home to Brighton. These are all games you can follow with us. We've got a full programme tomorrow night with commentary on Sunderland against Liverpool, and then we have the Brentford-Arsenal game for you on Thursday. As ever, we've got every game covered in the world's favourite football competition. Pedro Neto is going to come on for Esteval. Esteval's had a couple of twinkly moments. He hasn't perhaps quite showcased his talent, but João Pedro is not a bad substitute to bring on. He's been in fantastic form this season.
Yeah, he's a top player, Pedro Neto, when he hits top form.
Yeah,
you know, and he's the one player, isn't he, on the top line that's just got incredible pace.
Yes, he does. He's absolute greyhound, isn't he, down that flank. He was actually the scorer up at Allen Road when Chelsea lost 3-1. It's a long time since Leeds did the double over Chelsea, and it doesn't look as if that run is going to end. 1992. They won the title the year before it became the Premier League.
That's right, yeah.
Or the year that it did the season before, 92, under Howard Wilson. Players like Eric Cantona was in that league, and Gordon Strachan, Gary McAllister. Good side, very good side. Here's Leeds trying to get forward now. It's run loose, there's a chance here. Now Bogle's gone down in the box. Penalty Leeds! Goodness me! Well, Jayden Bogle seized upon a loose ball, went into the box, and it looked to me as if he was taken down. Caicedo is pleading his innocence quite vociferously to referee Rob Jones, but well, that looks a penalty, doesn't it? Just inside, he's put his foot down and Bogle's gone over it. We'll get a better angle of it here. VAR will have a look, of course. I think it'll be given.
I do.
Although when you look at it again, I mean, the referee again seemed pretty certain, but he is going to talk to John Brooks, the VAR. But I'd be surprised if this is overruled.
Well, it's a loose leg, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a silly one from Chelsea, isn't it? What are they doing, giving away a penalty at 2-0 up?
Yeah, it's a loose leg.
Offering Leeds a lifeline.
I mean, they've not built anything, have they, in the final third, Leeds? It was a hopeful ball, and I mean, that's one thing that Caicedo has got. He's got that urgency to always try and win the football.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can't.
It has been given, and Lucas Nmecha has placed the ball on the spot. Leeds, who looked completely out of it a moment ago and who haven't had a single shot on target, have a penalty. And Nmecha, though, has missed 2 of his last 4, and he's facing Robert Sanchez, and he can give Leeds a real lifeline here. 67th minute, midway point in the second half. A little bit of a wait here. I think somebody might have been booked there, I'm not sure who, for protesting. But we'll sort that out in a minute, because Lucas Nmecha takes a breath, steps up and scores for Leeds United. Very, very good penalty, every bit as good as the one at the other end from Cole Palmer. So the second half has been a tale of 2 penalties. Palmer making it 2-0 to Chelsea. But now Nmecha has cut the lead. It's 2-1.
And it's a great penalty by Lucas Nmecha there. I mean, he's been fighting on scraps all night, but he's planted the ball, and it's a lovely distributed, fantastic penalty. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Enough pace and power. Could we have a game on?
Well, from nowhere really. That's their first shot on target of the entire game, Leeds. And Nmecha has converted it really well. It's his 6th goal of the season, only his 2nd in 8 games. Although he did score in his last appearance against Fulham.
It's funny, we've just seen a replay there, John. He's just shouting to Cole Palmer, Lucas Mecha is, shouting his name out because I think he tried to get into his head. Old youth teammates at Manchester City.
Well, Palmer,
he's done one on him.
Palmer's been booked, by the way, for protesting. Malo Gusto is rubbing his ear, and Biol is rubbing his head. And there's a slight pause to proceedings. There was a clash of heads between João Pedro and one of the Leeds players, Biol, who's rubbing his head.
I think they're the kind of, you know, when you talk about the leaders, Arsenal, and you talk about the other teams behind them, even, you know, Manchester City to a degree, but definitely teams like Liverpool and Chelsea, it's them silly mistakes that cost you points. You know, Arsenal don't give chances away like that. They really don't. You've got to work so hard for your goals against Arsenal. You know, that's a giveaway goal tonight. It's a real cheap giveaway. It's a poorly timed tackle in a condition of a game where you're completely in control.
Yeah, absolutely. They've made it difficult for themselves, Chelsea. It's now 6 in all competitions without a clean sheet, which is another thing that Liam Rosenior won't like. And what it's done, I mean, it's really transformed a pretty comfortable looking half hour into what is now a slightly nervous looking final 20.
Well, yeah, because the nerve is, you know, the nerves are not just on the pitch, but they're around the, you know, the stands as well. Yeah. You know, these Chelsea fans were hopeful of, like I say, a quite a dominating second half, but it's their own. It's, you know, if they've got a gun, they've gone and shot themselves in the foot. I mean, it's a silly mistake.
Yeah, it certainly is. Lucas and Mecha has changed things with his confident penalty. Leeds have it in their own half at the moment, and with renewed hope potentially of getting themselves what would be an absolutely incredible point. But in Mecha, the goal scorer is tackled. Leeds just suddenly have a bit more of a, there seems to be a bit more fire in their bellies. It's taken that goal to kind of lift them out of the mediocrity, really, that they were in.
Well, it's funny, isn't it, what a goal can do to you?
Yeah.
You can put even the most reluctant of teams on the front foot, and that's what Leeds were in the first half. They were reluctant to come out and showcase the skills. Now they're on the ball a little bit more. They've got one extra body.
By Caicedo, who tells the Leeds player to get up. Hang on, what's going on now? Caicedo's been penalised. Oh, sorry, it's not Caicedo, I beg your pardon. I think it's Chalobah. We're in the final 19 minutes of the game. And there's another stoppage. No change in the scores elsewhere. Everton 1, Bournemouth 0, Tottenham 0, Newcastle 1. That'll be a massive home defeat for Spurs, if it is indeed a defeat. And West Ham 0, Manchester United 0, very, very close to half-time there. Here, there's a free kick to Leeds. It's hoisted towards the edge of the Chelsea box. It's a decent header in, and the ball is knocked forward, but it'll be cleared by Malo Gusto. And suddenly Chelsea look desperate. They're just hoofing from the edge of the box. And Leeds are now the team on the front foot. We've only had one attempt on target for Leeds, a penalty, and it's gone in. Chelsea have had several, but only taken 2, so it is still, well, it's more nail-biting than it was, that's for sure. There's the Leeds substitute Okafor getting involved there.
They just sat in this Chelsea team now. They've gone 10-15 yards deeper than where they've played all night, and that's just nerves. It really is.
Well, oh, hang on, here come Leeds again. It's Bogle again who's causing problems, edge of the box. They still haven't cleared it, Chelsea, and he's gone down. They want another penalty, but he's put in by Okafor. What a nightmare for Chelsea at the back. They couldn't clear the ball. Sanchez appeared to take his player down. The referee looks as if he's played a very good advantage, and Noah Okafor, with virtually his first touch, has side-footed into the net, and it's Chelsea 2, Leeds United 2. This seemed absolutely inconceivable 10 minutes ago, but Chelsea have chucked away a 2-0 lead.
Well, it's one of the most ridiculous goals Chelsea are going to concede all year. I mean, they've just not dealt with a simple forward pass. Okafor's bounced around. He's waiting for his chance. It's just fallen to him. The goalkeeper, Sanchez, has come out. He can't get his goalie gloves on it. There might be
a handball in the run-up.
Here.
It hit Bogle's elbow as he sort of chiselled his way into the penalty area. It was incredibly clumsy. The ball was bouncing about. Achampong couldn't get it clear. Sanchez then came out, and almost while Leeds were appealing for a penalty, someone had the presence of mind to square it to Okafor, who has rolled it into the net. An absolute mess of a goal, but will it count? That's the question. The VAR has been brought into the equation. It's John Brooks tonight. He's talking to Rob Jones, and I suspect that elbow by Bogle might well be penalised, or will it? Leeds fans are celebrating. They seem to think that the goal has been given. There's no clear signal as yet, as far as I can see. But I think the goal's been given.
I think when you look at the initial coming together of bodies inside the 6-yard, 18-yard box, there might have been a couple of things to look at for the VAR, but that's gone ahead pretty quickly for me. I thought there might have been a foul on the goalkeeper as well as a potential handball, but this game's took a twist.
Incredible. Well, they had a collision there between Sanchez and Bogle, and then Okafor couldn't miss. But once again, it was Jayden Bogle causing the problems, wasn't it? He drew the penalty, and it's he who's just scrambled his way forward. Chelsea's
he just kept it alive, John, didn't he? You know, there was nothing really to work on other than fighting for the ball, and it bounced around 5 or 6 times, and
it did.
Just found its way to Okafor, and it was a simple tap-in.
It was. Noah Okafor, who scored on Friday, having got 1 goal in 18, has now got 2 in 2.
These fans can't believe what they're seeing.
No, they can't. I don't think Chelsea fans can either.
No.
I don't know which. Yes, I mean, neither sets of fans can believe what they're seeing, I don't think. I mean, we when that second goal went in, neither of us gave Leeds a prayer, did we?
No.
And we're not being unduly unfair or pessimistic. I think most people would have agreed.
Absolutely.
If you'd have said, come 74 minutes, it'll be 2-2, we'd have probably scratched our heads a little bit, wouldn't we?
Yeah, look, you know, this is something that, you know, Leeds United fans will be looking at.
Bournemouth are 2-1 up against Everton. They were trailing by 1-0. Ryan has scored, and now Adley has made it 2-1. 2 goals in 3 minutes, and at Tottenham it's all happening. Spurs equalising through Archie Gray on 64, but 4 minutes later Jacob Ramsey has made it Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2. So the goals are flying in all over the place. Still 0-0 West Ham against Manchester United, which is in stoppage time at the end of the first half. If Leeds get a point, that won't be good news for West Ham or Nottingham Forest, who lost to Leeds last time out. They'll both be hoping that Chelsea can get another goal, but at the moment it looks more likely to be Leeds as Okafor comes forward. Surely not. Okafor into the box, and it's only half cleared, and then Bogle, who's made a real nuisance of himself in the second half, tries to block it, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
Wow, this is why we love the Premier League, isn't it? I mean, some of the twists and turns that took place, not just in this game, but across the board tonight.
Yeah.
You never know at this level. You never know at this league.
You really don't. It's incredible, isn't it? So Everton were winning and are now losing. Chelsea were winning and are now drawing. Spurs equalised but are now losing. And no goals yet at West Ham. Although, of course, that one kicked off an awful lot later than this one. 45 minutes later, in fact. Goodness me. Well, I mean, if you'd have asked a Leeds fan this morning, would you settle for a point, they'd have absolutely ecstatic, wouldn't they?
Absolutely.
Incidentally, if Leeds do get a point, that would take them to so I get my maths right. I'm not sure if I'm able to update this. It's 30 points or 29. I'm just trying to work it out. They would be 5 ahead of West Ham. Oh yeah, 30 points. They'd go above Tottenham actually if they get a point here. Meanwhile, Achimpong is coming off for Fofana, and Liam Delap is also coming on for Chelsea, and just waiting to see who he's replacing. He needs a goal, doesn't get too many. And if he can come up with one now, it might well be the winner. There are still 11 and a half minutes left. Here's Wesley Fofana. The Leeds fans are in full voice now. I mean, literally, they've had 2 attempts on goal and scored both.
I think when you look at the nature of the goals, I mean, the second one for Chelsea, a ridiculous penalty.
Yeah.
You know, a real sloppy, lazy leg that gave that opportunity for Leeds to get back in into the game for their first goal. But the second goal, I mean, it's just a calamity all over the shop. The central defenders, none of them cover themselves in glory for Chelsea.
Well, if Manchester United win at West Ham, Leeds would be 7 points above the drop zone. That's a big amount at this stage in the season.
It is, yeah.
They'd have 30 points. And that's not, you know, last season you'd have stayed up with 26. Now here come Chelsea again. It's a chance. It's a brilliant tackle. It's a brilliant tackle by James Justin, because Chelsea had a break there down the left-hand side. I think it was Jorrel Hatto who got down that flank, and it was a really well-timed challenge, and it's going to be a corner to Chelsea with 10 minutes left. Enzo Fernandez to take it. There are anxious Chelsea faces behind that goal as it swings in. Solid header away by Rodon, and it'll be picked up by Cole Palmer, who, other than scoring the penalty, has had a fairly quiet second half. Here he is again. We've barely seen João Pedro either. Here's Palmer getting to the byline, and again it's a tackle, and again it's a corner. This time Aronson was the man providing the challenge. But they're going to have to be on their mettle now, Leeds United, if they're to hang on to what would be an absolutely priceless point for them. Oof, flicks off the head of Delap and goes behind. None of the home teams are winning tonight so far.
Well, it's half a chance there for Liam Delap. I mean, it's bypassed the whole of the 6-yard box. So many bodies in there, and I know it came to him late, but it's half a chance for him. Just seeing that replay of a great tackle there.
It was a really good tackle by Justin, wasn't it? Yeah, brilliant.
It's a wonderful react. Oh, it's a brilliant tackle.
Yeah, it's a really well timed, because you can't get that wrong. If you get that wrong, it's a penalty kick all night, but it wasn't on a night of penalties. Liam Delap, who brushed that header wide, has only got 1 goal in 14. Here's Robert Sanchez for Chelsea. 9 minutes left for them to try and get a win. Here is Delap. Good cover from Rodon, but it's fallen for Palmer. Palmer gets the ball into the box early, but it's not a good ball. The Leeds fans cheer as it eludes everybody and goes behind. And we're going to see Dan James.
Well, this is an interesting
Leeds
substitution. Dan James coming on. I mean, another forward-minded player. Mecha going off. He's done well, all right, tonight.
Yeah, he has.
Mecha, he's done okay.
Well, he took his penalty well, and that was the main thing.
Yeah. It's hard playing on your own at the top.
Yeah, Dan James has only made 12 previous appearances this season due to injuries, and Daniel Farker was discussing and talking about the fact that he's been missed, because he does offer opportunities and width and creativity. 8 minutes left, 2-2 in what's been an entertaining encounter. Particularly the second half's been very good. Darlow clears. It's nodded down to João Pedro. Here's Liam Delap. João Pedro has it again. That's a clever ball. Pedro Neto, who hasn't really got involved since he came in, He has now. And he's trying to get across him, but he can't at the moment. Malo Gusto might. And the header was firm and away by Biol. Here's Palmer for Chelsea. He's managed to wriggle away. He's done well, Palmer, but then the ball was not a good one. And it's intercepted by Justin, who's then fouled rather crudely by Jorel Hato. And it's a free kick to Leeds, which they'll take.
I think what they'll always also take is that type of delivery into the box. What we've just seen from Pedro Neto. I mean, ideally he wants to get to the touchline and look for the pullbacks, because Biol loves heading footballs. That's what he's made for, isn't he?
West Ham Manchester United is now in the 14th minute of stoppage time. I'm not quite sure what has happened there. I'll try and find out for you. But my goodness me, that's going to be a late finish for the travelling Manchester United fans.
These two teams now, you know, they're entering that final 6 or 7 minutes where, you know, and there's going to be a big chance. There always is. You know, these are the nervous parts of the games where it only takes one just to slack off a little bit. Can we see a winner for one of these teams tonight?
It'll be interesting. Here's Fernandez, who's dropped deep to collect the ball. He finds Caicedo, who was guilty of the challenge that led to the penalty. It is half-time now at West Ham, and it's 0-0 with Manchester United. So all to play for there in the second half, and a lot of stoppage time was added on. Still Everton 1, Bournemouth 2. Everton's new stadium, which was unveiled earlier in the season. Oh, hang on, here's a chance for Aronson, who shoots, and it's blocked. It comes out to Ampadu. Leeds United have got as good a chance of winning this game as Chelsea have at the moment, but Ampadu has played a very poor ball, which goes behind on the bounce.
What this top line's got at Leeds is incredible pace. Okafor and James, you know, if they can find some gaps in this back four of Chelsea, and they're searching for it.
Yeah. 5 minutes to go at Stamford Bridge. Not so long ago, this was a place of celebration for the home fans, who were convinced that their team were heading for a straightforward 3 points. They're now hanging on to 1.
And you're always under pressure, aren't you, as a manager? But these are the kind of games that add pressure onto the valve. They really do.
It's João Pedro. He wants to take the throw quickly. There's no one to throw it to at the moment. He has found Hato. And now it's Fofana, and a bit of space here for Pedro Neto, who curls it into the box. It's a very good ball. No one was there attacking the far post, really. It just drifted behind from the cross from the Portuguese substitute.
Well, that's the first time Neto's had the opportunity to just get the ball out of his feet. Oh, it's close.
Pass.
It's close, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, it could have snuck in at the far post, and Darlow's scrambling at the end.
Time's beginning to run out for Chelsea. Well, Liam Delap's run could come to an end here. 4 wins out of 4 in the Premier League, but at the moment they need another goal to keep it or make it 5. Here's Okafor, who got the second for Leeds. He's been dispossessed by Delap. Delap's got Pedro in front of him. He's got Cole Palmer out wide as well. Here's Palmer, edge of the box, goes round the outside. Looks to cross it under pressure from Justin, who's played very well for Leeds at right wing back. In comes the cross now, in goes João Pedro, but nothing comes of it. Biol manages to put pressure on the Brazilian, and the ball goes behind.
I was just seeing the build-up play there for Chelsea. I mean, he nicked it, didn't he?
Yeah.
He nicked it just in front of it there. I mean, it's a great tackle. It's a lovely ball into the box in the end. He took his time to get the ball into the box.
Well, we're approaching the conclusion of all the games that kicked off at 7:30. Everton's night has just got worse because O'Brien has been sent off. They're trailing by 2-1 at home to Bournemouth, and they are down to 10 men for the remainder of that game. Still, Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2. Malik Chow late in the first half, then Archie Gray equalising, and then Jacob Ramsey with the second for Newcastle. We could be heading for a rare away win. So it'll ease the pressure on Eddie Howe. It'll do anything but ease the pressure on Thomas Frank, because Tottenham, especially with Leeds, picking up a point if they do. But Chelsea are coming forward, but João Pedro can't get a decent contact on it, and it goes behind for a goal kick to Leeds United with 2 minutes to play, and Leeds are going to try and use up as much of that time taking this goal kick as they possibly can.
Yeah, they'll use all this time to their advantage. Cargala is still looking at his ball.
Darlow eventually hoists the ball forward. There will be a fair amount of stoppage time, I would think. And sliding challenges away by Gusto. Can Leeds create themselves one more chance? We're in the final minute of the 90, as we are at Everton, who are losing, and Tottenham, who are losing at home. Not been a good night for the home sides so far.
Just seeing the
Tottenham
manager.
fans are drifting away from their stadium after more pressure on Thomas Frank. Here's Bogle, who's well, he won't get an assist for either of the goals, will he? But he deserves it, because it's his endeavour that led to them both for Leeds United. Here's João Pedro, half challenged by Gruev. Tottenham have it with Fernandes. Now it's Caicedo. This is Pedro Neto. Gusto's gone scampering forward in front of him. Here's Malo Gusto now, but it's a misplaced pass by him. Groans from the Chelsea supporters. Here's Fofana. It's going to be cup-tie stuff for the remainder of the game. Oh, hang on, I'm hearing that West Ham have scored against Manchester United, but we'll come to that in a minute, because Chelsea have it with Pedro Neto, who is scampering infield, plays a square ball to Caicedo. Caicedo back to Neto again. Neto will curl it in. It's a great-looking cross, but the header is over the bar from João Pedro. Lovely cross again from the right flank by Pedro Neto, and it's headed over, but it got a Leeds flick as well, so it's a corner. João Pedro is up again, hoping to get on the end of this. It's João Pedro again with the delivery. Keeper needs to claim, but there's a defender in front of him who heads clear as Chelsea try and get it forward once more. Pedro Neto down the line, finds Jorel Hato. It's a good looking cross, and Pedro again has missed with his header.
Well, he's had 2 big chances in the last 30 seconds. The first one that ended up with a corner was a brilliant chance, and I think it came off the back of Beale, but this chance is equally, probably better.
Yeah,
He got
I think he had a
caught
bit more
underneath it,
time and
didn't he?
space, didn't he, in that one? He got up well, but the header was directed over the top. West Ham United are indeed a goal up against Manchester United. Thomas Souček has got the goal 7 minutes into the second half. So that's not good news for Leeds fans, because if they get a point here, and we're having 6 minutes of stoppage time, of which 2 have elapsed. You expect that to be dominated by the team in blue. Here's Caicedo. So Liam Rosenior looks like he might lose his winning start. So could Michael Carrick at the moment, because Manchester United are trailing Here's Pedro Neto, right-hand side. Square ball to Caicedo, who plays it up, and there's a towering header to deny Delap a chance to get on the end of it. But here's Chalobah finding Fernandez. Trevor Chalobah again. Liam Delap trying to wriggle away from his marker, and then using his strength well and finding Palmer. Chelsea have got 3 minutes left to try and find a winning goal. It's Cole Palmer on the far side. Down the line it goes towards Hato. Hato gets round his man. It's a high hanging cross towards Pedro Neto. Here's Caicedo. In the moment Leeds are holding firm, but they've got plenty more work to do. Here's Neto trying to go round the outside. Half tackled by James. Two number 7s clashing there. It's Fernandez. It's Gusto. It's Palmer. And there's still no space for a shot. It's a bit like a game of rugby this, isn't it? With one team in attacking and another in a bank trying to defend them. It's Pedro Neto once more. The cross is headed away by Bogle. Comes out to Chalobah, urged to shoot, doesn't shoot. Finds Caicedo. Caicedo into the Leeds box. Flying header away is by Rodon. And now Palmer low. And again it's cleared by Leeds United.
It's great defending by Leeds.
It is very good, but they've still got 2 minutes to withstand this barrage of Chelsea attacks. Gusto, Caicedo, oh, it's missed! Cole Palmer has missed an absolute sitter. He can't believe it. Nor can the majority inside this stadium. People have their faces in their hands, and Cole Palmer has put it over the bar from a yard.
I can't believe what I've watched. I mean, it's literally a yard out, underneath the crossbar. It's a brilliant link play. Wonderful, wonderful ball across the face of the 6-yard box, and all he's got to do is tap it in. I don't know how he's done it.
He's
if
come
he
off
tries
his ankle, I think, and he's put it
more,
over the bar. It's incredible.
Incredible.
I mean, that is an astonishing miss for any player, but never mind a player of his quality. I mean, he's literally a yard out with the goal open.
You're going to see that over and over again, John.
It's astonishing.
You've got to say, there's been some incredible misses over the years, haven't there, in the Premier League? I can remember
that one's up there, isn't that?
So many, but that's in the top 5 for me.
Well, especially given who it was. Here's Dan James for Leeds. Have they got a last sortie in them? I think they'll be happy just to keep the ball, but they haven't. And Delap's lost it, and that's good play by Leeds United. Longstaff, who's come on as a substitute. We will be crossing to Tottenham Newcastle, by the way, at the conclusion of this game, which is only a minute or so away, which means that Chelsea are in last chance saloon now. Here's Palmer. Can he atone for the miss? He's been tripped by Longstaff.
He's just come on,
and
Longstaff.
It offers Chelsea a final chance with a set piece. Sean Longstaff, the former Newcastle man, has taken Palmer down.
He's bought the foul there, hasn't he? He really has. I mean, that's not a foul. He's gone to ground. He's made it easy for the referee, but it's a dive there by Cole Palmer.
Well, this will be the last chance, surely. We're over 96 already. It's a free kick to Chelsea, wide on the left-hand side. Conversation between Enzo Fernandez and Pedro Neto. Goalkeeper Darlow is steadying himself. If Leeds can repel this, they'll get a point. If not, maybe Chelsea might nick a win at the death, which, well, they should have had wrapped up half an hour ago, but didn't. Long wait. It's going to be Pedro Neto to deliver with his left foot from that right-hand side. There are 7 Chelsea players inside that Leeds penalty area. In it comes. It looks a bit long, and it's missed by Malo Gusto. And Leeds let that go out for a throw-in. Gusto is down, injured, trying to, I think, manufacture a few more seconds for his club, and Rodon's just lifted him to his feet and said, get on with it. But this will be big for Leeds United. They looked absolutely down and out.
Oh, it's a massive point.
And they've
really is.
nicked a point. 58 minutes. Cole Palmer's penalty made it 2-0. You could not imagine Leeds coming back into this game, and it tells you about Chelsea's fragility. It tells you about Chelsea's problems, and they have been held, and there are boos from the Chelsea supporters, there are smiles from Daniel Farke, and why not? Because Leeds United have manufactured an incredible comeback here. They were trailing by 2-0. Joao Pedro with a smartly taken goal in the first half. Cole Palmer with a penalty in the second. Then Nmecha converted a Leeds penalty before Okafor capitalised on some chaotic Chelsea defending and made it the final score at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 2, Leeds United 2. We're now going to cross to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where they're still playing there. Spurs against Newcastle with Rich Wolfenden.
It's looking very, very unlikely for Frank's side. But in the away end, the sound of Newcastle We Love You comes from the away support. Pope sends his kick long and it's too high for Hall. We've got 20 seconds to go. It's now or never for Tottenham. They go backwards. Vicario. Archie Gray's got to send it long. He puts all his might into his pass forward. Dragusin is up. The header is won though by Chow. Van der Ven away by Botman. Polina will miss it. Simmons, centre circle. Anthony Taylor takes a look at his watch. It's not full time yet. Simmons, middle of the Newcastle half. Tonali makes the interception this time. Now Gray, everyone back for Newcastle, everyone forward for Tottenham. Sarr, it's chucked forward. Colin Mawani gets his head up. Polina connects with it, but all he can do is nod it towards Pope, who makes the save. And Anthony Taylor blows his whistle to a chorus of boos inside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. With West Ham winning at Manchester United, this will leave Tottenham 3 points away from the bottom 3.
Rich Wolfenden there. It's full time at
seeing these Leeds boys. It was absolutely horrific. It really was, but take nothing.
so much for being alongside me, and happy Sean.
Kobbie Mainoo trying to wriggle away from Jared Bowen. Didn't do that, but he did win a free kick for Manchester United, about 35 yards from goal. The away side won't take this free kick quickly. It's definitely too far for a shot, but it's an opportunity for either Luke Shaw or Bruno Fernandes, who on stood by the ball, to dink this into the mixer. And well, Harry Maguire is the player that immediately stands out when it comes to set pieces in this game for Manchester United. Free kick taken by Shaw, aiming for Maguire at the back post. He gets his head onto it, heads it back to Mbeumo. Now Ahmad. Mbeumo tries to dink the ball back into the box from the edge of the area, but good pressing by Castellanos to immediately block that pass. And Man United were forced back. And there's a bit of a cynical foul by Castellanos on Maguire on the right flank. But the West Ham fans don't mind that. They love that tenacity from their new signing. It was a pretty crude swipe of the legs of Harry Maguire. That is what they call a striker's challenge. A free kick to the away side. Opportunity for them to test this West Ham defence. They've not really done that since the 21st minute of the game when Luke Shaw had a shot cleared off the line from a corner. Fernandes will take this free kick. Disappointing free kick by him. Cleared by the first man in sight in Mateus Fernandes. All casual play by Mateus Fernandes. Gives the ball away to Amad Diallo and he crosses low and it's hoofed out of play by Disasi. Thrown by Manchester United, taken now. Although they go backwards to Dallo. Here's Kobbie Mainoo. Dinks the ball into the middle, looking for Casemiro! And that's 1-0. Just like that, Manchester United get level. Well, Casemiro scored in this fixture last season. That made it 1-0. Like the West Ham goal, a goal almost out of nowhere. There's a build-up and play on the right channel. Kobbie Mainoo cross it in. Well, that to me looks like Casemiro might be offside. This will get looked at. Good header by the Brazilian. Just to nod it past Hermansson into the bottom right-hand corner, a goal. It looks to me as though Casemiro's shoulder is offside, but the VAR team will need to get the lines out and have a look at this properly. To me it looks offside, but of course you can never really tell these days. So it is 1-1 for now, but we await with bated breath as to whether this goal will actually stand. Craig Pawson is the man on VAR duty. He was the man in the middle at Anfield when Liverpool lost 2-1 at home to Manchester City. And the goal does not stand. West Ham remain a goal to the good. And I did say it looked like Casemiro didn't quite time his run as the cross from Kobbie Mainoo came in. And following a VAR review, that has proved to be the case. So West Ham still a goal to the good, and Casemiro did have a wry smile even after the ball hit the back of the net. I don't think even he was convinced that that was a legal goal. So just under 20 minutes of the second half played. West Ham 1, Man United 0. West Ham looking for their second. Jarrod Bowen takes a shot from 25 yards out. Took a deflection, so it is a corner to the home side. Bowen is the one who's going to take this set piece. Provider for Souček's opener. Souček is in the middle, as is Axel Disasi and Konstantinos Mavropanos. I mean, 2-0 would be massive. Corner now comes in, cleared away by Brian Mbeumo. Went over the main pack of players. Now the Red Devils looking to counter. It's with Mbeumo, but he just overruns the ball and is tackled by Mateus Fernandes. Bit of a clumsy clearance by Disasi as he fired the ball straight at Mateus Fernandes' midriff. Brief. So 20 minutes played in this second half. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. Goal scored early in the second half by Thomas Souček. Just a moment ago, Casemiro did put the ball in the net with a well-taken header after he latched onto a Kobbie Mainoo cross from the right. But the goal was looked at by VAR and Casemiro did not quite time his run. His shoulder was offside as the cross came in. So West Ham still do lead in this game, but just one or two signs that things are beginning to open up after a pretty cagey first half. The Red Devils on the ball on their left with Luke Shaw midway into the West Ham half. Goes back to Lisandro Martinez. Now Harry Maguire in the centre circle. No substitutions made yet in this game, but I'm sure that will change shortly. As the time goes on, West Ham will just want to focus on preserving their lead, and fresh legs will no doubt help them in their endeavour. Manchester United do have some options in terms of attacking players. Benjamin Sesko and Joshua Zirkzee, they immediately stand out on the team sheet. Here's Kobbie Mainoo, about 35 yards from goal, goes across to Martinez, pulls for a shot, instead he dinks it into the middle looking for Casemiro, headed away by Souček, and then helped on and then booted up the pitch by Castellanos, who chases his own clearance. Maguire heads the ball in the centre circle, did very well there because he's under pressure from Jarrod Bowen. Nods the ball left to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw still has it, tries to cross it, it's deflected, headed away by Diouf. Dalot will look to recycle the attack, and he helps it on to Bruno Fernandes. Now Casemiro plays a 1-2 of Cunha, tries to nip it out left to Luke Shaw, but Jarrod Bowen was wise to it as he slid in and made the challenge. And Bowen's done really well. He raced down the right flank and has won a throw-in when he was seemingly going down a dead end. So a double change made by Manchester United. Benjamin Sesko is one of those players coming on, as is Lenny Yoro. Harry Maguire is the one to make way. He hasn't done a whole lot wrong in this game. I do wonder if he had a slight hamstring concern in the first half, so maybe that's the reason he went off. Matheus Cunha is the other player to come off. He's not really got into this game, the Brazilian, so that's not a big surprise. West Ham are going to make a change as well. Castellanos is making way. West Ham fans showing their appreciation for him. He's not had a lot to go with going forward, but he has battled hard and just made life a bit difficult for that Manchester United defence. Showed plenty of grit and determination, taking his time going off the field of play. On in his place is Callum Wilson. A forward who looks set to leave during the winter transfer window. A move to Celtic was mooted, but in the end he stayed. And you would back him to get one or two more crucial goals. Scored a late winner against Tottenham Hotspur. Well, it's a cheap yellow card for Matheus Fernandes for a foul on Kobbie Mainoo just inside the Manchester United half. Free kick taken short. Here's Lisandro Martinez. And now Yoro with his first touch of the game. Not scored in the Premier League, the French defender. Now Martinez. Not a lot of urgency from Manchester United, although as I say that, Martinez tries a ball over the top to Luke Shaw. Was headed away, but Luke Shaw retrieved the loose ball on the left flank. Now Diogo Dalot has the ball. He's tucked in field. And here's Ahmad on the right-hand side, up against Diouf, who has done a good job on him so far, although Amad Diallo goes down in the box. It is a corner to the away side. It didn't seem like it was enough contact, and it was uncomfortable if you're of a West Ham persuasion. Ahmad did make his way down to the ground. Well, it's actually a goal kick, and that is the correct decision. I thought I saw Simon Hooper point towards the corner flag, but he must have been overruled by his assistant, who would have had a very good view of the incident. There weren't many cries for a penalty, not even from the Manchester United fans who are nearby to the goal where Manchester United are shooting towards. So under 20 minutes of the 90 to go. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. Thomas Souček with the only goal in this game so far. Struck early in the second half. Casemiro thought he had equalised for Manchester United on 64 minutes. Although VAR had another look, and he was indeed offside as the cross for him came in. This is promising for Manchester United. Benjamin Sesko crossed it first time, and rather unfortunately for the Slovenian, the ball then rebounds off him and out for a goal kick to West Ham. There has certainly been more incident in this second half than there was in the first. The only notable chance in the first period fell to the away side. Luke Shaw from a low corner on the left, shot first time from about 8 yards out, and that was cleared off the goal line by Aaron Wan-Bissaka, once of Manchester United, of course. Ahmad now has the ball in the centre circle. He receives a pass from Martinez after the ball deflected rather kindly to him. Now Luke Shaw goes back to Mainu. Well, still plenty of time in this game to go, but the other Premier League games have all finished. Chelsea 2, Leeds 2, Everton 1, Bournemouth 2, and Tottenham Hotspur 1, Newcastle 2. So looking at the live table, well, Manchester United are 5th as things stand, but if they can find an equaliser or even get the win, they will go above Chelsea into 4th. West Ham, they will remain 18th as things stand, but they do move level on points with Nottingham Forest if they do get over the line and get this win. They are 3 behind on goal difference on Sean Dyche's men, who play host to Wolves tomorrow, and we'll have live commentary of that game for you on Premier League Live, as well as the other midweek games going on Wednesday and Thursday. Manchester United have a throw on the right flank in line with the edge of the box, taken quickly, and Casemiro tries a through ball, but it's well blocked by Freddie Potts, who hasn't seen a lot of the ball, but when his defensive work particularly has been required, he's stood up and made himself count. Nuno Espirito Santo in conversation with 2 of his assistants. Oh, sloppy by Diouf. He took a throw in and received it immediately from Mateus Fernandes, and then just shanked his attempted clearance out of play for a Manchester United throw. He bizarrely just go back with the throw in. Oh, Manchester United give it away. Here's Jared Bowen, makes his way into the Red Devils half, plays the ball forward to Callum Wilson. Good touch from him to get away from Martinez, returns the ball to Bowen, who tries to cross it. Good challenge by Martinez by the byline. Managed to avoid putting that behind for a corner, and then played the pass to Luke Shaw, who dinks the ball forward to Seshko, who almost moved out of the way of Mavropanos, who headed the ball to a teammate. West Ham give it away. Manchester United trying to build on their left with Fernandes, but he's not the guy you want to race down the wing, really. His skills are put to much better use with passing and shooting rather than running with the ball. Euro goes right to Ahmad. And here's Martinez. Now Bruno Fernandes goes forward to Seshko, takes a quick shot, and it needed Mads Hermansen just to ever so slightly scramble to his right, because I think that was sneaking in at the far post. Decent effort from Seshko, who took the shot on the turn, and he didn't have a lot of time to do that. Manchester United looking to come again. Ball is in their half with Euro. Just putting both arms to his side, imploring some teammates to show him a bit more support. Now Kobbie Mainoo has the ball in some space. The main reason he has the ball in space in the centre circle is because West Ham have got so many players behind the ball. That's a good pass out left to Luke Shaw by Casemiro, who crosses it in. Shaw, headed by Mbeumo, comfortably wide of the West Ham goal. Better though from Manchester United. It was a good pass played out left but to an unmarked Luke Shaw, who controlled the ball, got his head up, dinked the cross in, but Mbeumo was just a bit too high for him, that cross, and he couldn't direct the header on target. Well, looks like West Ham are going to make a change. Ollie Scholes is ready to go. That change isn't going to happen before this goal kick because Hermansen has taken it. And he finds Callum Wilson, who just shrugs off Kobbie Mainoo. And now Jarrod Bowen has the ball, just ganged up on by Mainoo and Casemiro. So the away side in possession once again. Now Martinez has the ball just inside the West Ham half, goes left to Shaw. He passed the ball down the channel to Fernandes, and just as it looked like it was going to get to him inside the West Ham box, Aaron Wan-Bissaka slides in and puts the ball out of play for a throw-in. West Ham fans enjoying it. Even Bruno Fernandes gave Wan-Bissaka a high five after Wan-Bissaka got back to his feet. Here's Yoro. Finds Mbeumo just outside the D, and he goes right to Ahmad. Mbeumo in support down the right flank. Instead he goes back to Dalot, who, well, spoons a cross in at the back post to Casemiro. And a flag has been raised. So it's a free kick to West Ham. Still 1-0 to the Hammers. Well, it's actually going to be a double change. Sungutu Magassa is also going to come on, as well as Ollie Scholes. First man to come off, Freddie Potts. Good shift from him. His first start since West Ham's defeat to Wolves in early January. And Diouf is the other player to come off. I'm a bit surprised that that change has been made, because I think Diouf has done a very good job on Ahmad, who's had little to no joy on that right flank.
Number 30, Ollie Scholes.
We are at that point in the game where fatigue is most certainly going to be a factor in what is a tight contest. West Ham leading by a 1-0. Goal scored very early in the second half by Thomas Souček. Manchester United thought they got level through Casemiro's header, but Casemiro was flagged offside. Well, he wasn't flagged offside, sorry. It was a VAR check which showed that he was just offside. Michael Carrick dishing out some instructions to Joshua Zirkzee. Have to wait for that change to be made. We're approaching the final 10 minutes of the 90. West Ham have a throw just inside the Manchester United half. Thrown down the line by Wan-Bissaka. Ball ends up with Bowen. Manages to find Magassa. He passes left to his fellow substitute, Ollie Scholes. Now Somerville, who's tucked in field. Doesn't run at the Man United defence this time. Goes left to Scholes, who plays the ball to Somerville. Now here's Scholes. Dinks across in. Ball headed away by Luke Shaw, only as far out as Aaron Wan-Bissaka, just outside the box. He crosses it over all of his teammates and the Man United defenders. Somerville gets it on the left-hand side, up against Dalot. Just teases him with his feet. Somerville crosses it in, looking for Souček, who has been penalised for a high boot as Luke Shaw headed the ball away. West Ham fans don't like that, but it is the correct decision. Casemiro and Fernandes weren't happy either. I think they were calling for a yellow card to be given to the goal scorer. Zirkzee is now on the field of play. He replaces Diogo Dalot. Dalot was booked earlier in this game, and We're at that point in the game for Manchester United where a defender will need to be sacrificed in order to accommodate another attacker. Ahmad has gone out to the left flank this time. Now Luke Shaw gives the ball to Ahmad, who feinted across and plays a pass forward to Mainu, slips through Casemiro, who then tries to cross it at the byline, and well, that is really good defending by Sungutu Magassa, as he not only made the challenge, he won his team a goal kick. Casemiro played through by Kobbie Mainoo, and he tried to cross it in first time, blocked by Magassa, and then the ball just before it went beyond the byline rebounded off the head of Casemiro, who had slid down on the ground. And out for a goal kick. 82 on the clock. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. And West Ham on the attack. It's 4 against 4 if they get this right, but they just gave the ball away, and the away side are able to clear any kind of danger. Ahmad, who stayed on that left flank, passed the ball to Shaw, who then goes crossfield to Mbumo, who's on the right-hand side this time, up against Ollie Scholes. Gets a cross in early, looking for Seshko, but Souček was there to head the ball out of play for a Man United throw. Throw-in is taken, but again Manchester United go backwards with the throw-in. They've done that all game. It's been very frustrating for their fans. Perhaps it's testament to the way West Ham have defended, but I do feel if Manchester United do go on to lose this game or even draw, they'll leave the London Stadium with a few regrets that they didn't ask more questions. And Mateus Fernandes has won a free kick. He was just clipped to the ground by Kobbie Mainoo, about 5 yards into the West Ham half. Yeah, a bit of a late challenge by Mainoo on Mateus Fernandes. Mainoo did look apologetic as he mistimed his challenge. A few of the West Ham fans starting to believe a precious 3 points is coming their way. Thomas Souček's deft finish is what separates the two sides at the moment. Well, Magassa slips over, but fortunately for him, Souček was able to retrieve the ball for him. Ball's back on the halfway line. Disasi taking no chances. He punts the ball forward looking for Callum Wilson. He can only find Lenny Yoro. Now Le Mans, oh, that's a dangerous pass to Martinez, who showed brilliant composure to flick the ball away from Jarrod Bowen. There would have been serious problems for Manchester United if that piece of skill didn't come off on the edge of their own box. Risky pass, as I mentioned, from Le Mans, with Jarrod Bowen waiting and sliding in, but Martinez foxing him with a flick of his left foot. Throw into the Hammers, midway into their own half on the left. Scholes finds Callum Wilson. 5 minutes of the 90 to go. I'm sure we'll have a bit of stoppage time at the end of this game. Didn't have any at the end of the first half. Well, just 2 attempts in the second half by West Ham, just 3 for Manchester United. Red Devils looking to make it 4, but Mainoo is dispossessed by Souček. Oh, that's a brilliant pass to Callum Wilson, but Le Mans, to his credit, was quickly off his line before Callum Wilson could get onto the ball. Manchester United on the attack down their left with Shaw. Plays it down the line to Ahmad, who crosses it in. That's a woeful cross by the Ivory Coast international over all of his teammates. There were 4 Manchester United players in the box, but the ball just bounces out for a throw-in to West Ham. One of the Manchester United fans cutting very glum figures in the rain. Adama Traore is going to come on sooner or later. He's getting stripped off and ready to go, but that change won't happen right now. Manchester United have themselves a throw. Casemiro dinks the ball right to Bruno Fernandes, plays pass inside to Brian Mbeumo inside the West Ham box. He takes a shot and it's curled, and it's taken a deflection behind for a corner kick to the away side on their right. It was Souček, I think, who made the block. Might not have gone in, but it certainly would have tested Hermansen had Souček not got his head in the way of that Mbeumo shot. 87.5 minutes played, West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. The away side have a corner though, which will be taken by Mbeumo. In it comes, punched away by Hermansen, good punch, but Ahmad will collect the ball and play it right to Mbeumo. Ahmad receives it again, and his attempted cross was a bit miscued, but it forced Hermansen to actually dive to his left and collect the ball. And then he just rather nonchalantly bowls it out to Magassa on the right flank. Souček plays a first-time pass to Bowen, who wins the foot race against Martinez out on the right flank for West Ham. Sloppy play by Bowen, trying to play a pass back to Wan-Bissaka, but the pass is intercepted. Manchester United on the attack. Brilliant challenge by Mavropanos on Ahmad. He was laid down on the ground, and I think he made the challenge with his head. The West Ham fans loved that. And they're going to make another change. Oh, I'm looking at a replay of that Mavropanos challenge, and it's actually a handball. So it's a free kick to Manchester United. Somerville will make way for Adama Traore, and Jared Bowen is also coming off. Turn provider for Souček's goal. That's going to be the match winner as things stand. Kyle Walker-Peters is also coming on, as well as Adama Traore. Kyle Walker-Peters tasting relegation with Southampton last season. He won't want a repeat of that. This would be a massive 3 points for West Ham if they're to get over the line. We're in the final minute of the 90 to go. Casemiro looking to make something happen. Felled by Adama Traore, but the referee says that's not a foul. West Ham give the ball away anyway. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Pop pass to Kobbie Mainoo. Now Martinez, 35 yards from goal. Everyone but Callum Wilson is behind the ball for West Ham. 7 added minutes of stoppage time, so West Ham not home and dry, but they could get a second. Callum Wilson is racing away down the right flank. He's got support. Callum Wilson might go it alone, and he did, and Lenny Yoro made a last-ditch challenge and put it behind for a corner, but maybe Callum Wilson could have passed it across to Magassa, who for long periods in that attack was all open in the middle, but Callum Wilson decided to go for goal himself. Souček winning the Player of the Match award. But there's still 6 minutes of stoppage time to go for West Ham. If they weren't to win this, that awarding of the Player of the Match for Souček might feel a bit hollow. West Ham do have a corner. Not going short with this corner, it seems. Matheus Fernandes is taking it on the right flank. Comes in now, headed away by Casemiro. Magassa helps it back in, but It was near Callum Wilson, but I think he realised he was still offside, so he didn't bother going for it. And Le Mans gathers it. The Red Devils building on their left-hand side. Ahmad plays a pass to Bruno Fernandes. Now Joshua Zirkzee tries a first-time ball to Ahmad, but gives it away. And West Ham should get it away. And now Magassa has the ball in the centre circle. Skins Lisandro Martinez. It's 4 against 5. He plays a pass forward to Adama Traoré. This to seal it! And it's another recovery challenge from Manchester United. Lenny Yoro again stopping his team from going 2-0 down. Brilliant play by Magassa to get the ball past Martinez. Played it to Adama Traoré, who had a shot with his left foot, but Yoro, as I said, making the block. But this is an opportunity for West Ham just to eat up a bit more time. Less than 5 minutes to go of stoppage time. Fernandes is going to take this corner. This time Callum Wilson shows for a short one. He does indeed play the short corner, Fernandes to Wilson. Throw into Manchester United. Ball rebounded off the foot of Wilson. Martinez has the ball on the halfway line. Plays a crossfield pass to Bruno Fernandes. Just about keeps the ball in play. 1 or 2 cries for a handball as he controlled it with his chest. Cross now comes in from Fernandes. Oh, and it's a header just wide from Zirkzee. Well, Hermansen was rooted to his spot in the West Ham goal. If that header was on target, that was surely 1-1. Great ball in from the right by Fernandes, and a delicate header by Zirkzee ahead of Disasi. Bounces just wide of the left-hand post of West Ham's goal. Best opportunity Manchester United have had in this second half, that's for sure. One or 2 cries for a free kick following a collision between Martinez and Wilson, but referee not interested. 3 minutes of stoppage time to go. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. Oh, sloppy pass by Yoro, intercepted by Ollie Scarles, and he slips a through ball to Callum Wilson. Flag stays down for now. Oh, he's taking a shot and it's saved. But he has been flagged offside anyway. He really should have scored that. Not that it would have counted. And yeah, Callum Wilson's knee just offside. Good decision by the referee's assistant. So it is still 1-0 to West Ham. Just over 2 minutes of stoppage time to go. Bruno Fernandes finds Martinez, who's threatening to put a cross in on the left. Instead he goes back to Fernandes. Now Ahmad goes right to Mbumo. He crosses it in early and it's Sesko! It's 1-0! Oh, beautiful finish! First time by Benjamin Sesko. And Nuno Espirito Santo cuts a crestfallen figure. Oh, that could be huge in the relegation fight. Michael Carrick perhaps not tasting defeat for the first time as Manchester United interim boss. Good play by Brian Mbumo, crossing the ball in, and there was Benjamin Sesko at the near post just to prod his right foot at it, but that was enough for the ball to fly into the top right-hand corner of the West Ham goal. Really nice finish from the Slovenian. And there's just 1 minute to go of stoppage time. Can either side find a winner? West Ham on the attack. on their right. Adama plays it back to Magassa. Here's Adama Traore again, goes left to Scarles. Plays a 1-2 with Mateus Fernandes. West Ham fans urging Scarles to put the ball into the middle. Instead he goes down the line to Adama Traore. Has a 50-50 of Casemiro, which Casemiro wins and hooks the ball out to Xerxes in the final 15 seconds of stoppage time. Maybe we'll have another minute or so on account of that Seshko goal. Manchester United win the ball on the halfway line. Here's Ahmad. He's in space. He's inside the West Ham box and tries to play it across to Seshko, but the ball is intercepted by Wan-Bissaka, who takes no chances, hoofs the ball away out for a throw-in on the halfway line. We have now played 7 minutes of stoppage time. No sign of the referee's whistle being blown yet. Euro plays the ball into the West Ham box, but there was no Man United player in sight. Oh, Nuno is still smarting from that equaliser by Seshko. That would have been a precious 3 points for West Ham. But it looks like they're not going to get it. Coming up to 8 minutes of stoppage time to go. Throw in by Wan-Bissaka. And there we have it at the London Stadium. Well, it's finished West Ham 1, Manchester United 1. The Hammers denied at the depth by Benjamin Seshko. A lovely first time finish from him in the final 2 minutes of stoppage time, earning the Red Devils a point. Thomas Souček gave West Ham the lead early in the second half with a deft finish through the legs of Lamont in the Manchester United goal after good play on the right by Jarrod Bowen. Casemiro thought he'd equalise on 64 minutes, but the goal was chalked off for offside following a VAR review. As for chances in this game, well, Joshua Xerxes went very close to equalising just before Benjamin Seshko did, and in the first half Luke Shaw had a goal-bound shot cleared off the line from a corner. But Manchester United failed to win for the first time under Michael Carrick's tutelage. And you also do have to spare a thought for the United Strand, the Manchester United fan who's vowed not to get a haircut until they win 5 games in a row. It's been 493 days since he made that commitment. That wait goes on because they, of course, did not win in this game. In terms of the Premier League table, well, West Ham remain 18th. If they had won, they'd have gone level on points with 17th place Nottingham Forest, but now they're 2 points behind, and Nottingham Forest play at home to Wolves tomorrow, while Manchester United, they are 4th after Chelsea blew a 2-0 lead to draw at home to Leeds. So the Red Devils will be more or less satisfied with the night's work. And with that, I'm going to end the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in on TalkSport Live at the London
the target, and it was Peroni for Como, whose weak penalty was saved comfortably by Milinkovic-Savic, who has since scored himself from the penalty spot for Napoli. Now, next up for Como, it's Kempf, the German, another substitute. The 8th penalty for Como, left-footed, short run-up, and again sends the keeper the wrong way. Milinkovic-Savic is going very, very early on these decisions to go to either his left or his right-hand side. And, well, It's tucked in beautifully, and we carry on. But once more, the pressure turns to Antonio Conte's men, and the 8th penalty taker for Napoli. It's sudden death here, and it's going to be Stanislav Lobotka, the Slovakian. He has to score, or Napoli are out, and Como are through to the semi-finals. Up he steps, right-footed, and the keeper saves it, and that is the decisive moment in this penalty shootout. Lobotka's penalty is saved by Jean